Hey, welcome to Table Moments Live. I'm your host. Microphone, my bad. Hey, welcome to Table Moments Live. I'm your host and Captain Ayman. This is the Homies podcast, Table Moments, where we talk about anything and everything, but no politics. Or at least try to avoid politics, but people always bring it up on these live streams. I try to take a different approach with it, though. I don't like to choose sides, although I am honest about my political positions, generally speaking, but I've learned to be more accepting of the other side. And as I grow older, I realize their grievances are correct, but their implementation is wrong. And so that's where I've settled so far. Who knows, maybe in the future that'll change. But yeah, we try to avoid politics here and just have fun conversations about anything and everything. And that's the idea. It's a podcast where there are no set topics. It's not like interview styles either. We just released a new episode with Asia. He is a rapper out of the East Coast, and he's doing some cool stuff on his own. But we talk about content creation. We talk about the journey of music and how it relates to the journey of content creation, I've had, and the parallels, and trying to grow a brand and how hard it is. And it's actually a really cool episode published on YouTube. It's the first video podcast that done in a really long time. So check it out. It's episode 133. It's also I continued the numbering from the audio series. I think from now on, all podcasts are just going to be video. And I ripped the audio from that podcast and posted it as part of the podcast feed, and it still works. So take a listen on any podcasting app or podcatcher that you use. And let me know what you think. This is, I think, a new series now. I also have another guest lined up in a couple weeks. I don't know if it's going to be a weekly thing, but we will try to give you high quality content. And I edit these myself, so yeah. I care about the quality. I think I noticed a lot of podcasters, they're just they honestly don't care to make quality stuff. So, but before we do that, let's play the music. This song is called Mallets. It's a weird one. It's one I made a while back, and it mixes different styles. You wouldn't expect it. You wouldn't expect it, but hey, whatever. Mallets, here we go. That's Mallets. It still gives me chills. The end part. The pianos and the bells. Those are actually mallets used in the song. And and the idea was what if I could make these instrumentals and put them to dialogue heavy movie scenes? And so essentially I took that and put it in a scene that comes out of Pursuit of Happiness. You guys know that's the Will Smith movie or whatever, and I think it fit perfectly. Back then I didn't know about audio levels and stuff, so it kind of overpowers the dialogue in there. But the second half of the clip is amazing. So that's what I did. So yeah, that's a cool one. That's a cool one. This week, I have some topics prepared. We're going to be talking about this Table Moments wallet. So far, 18 orders. Ooh, that looks great on camera. Look at that. Maybe I should get the other colors. Wait, just so you guys. Yeah. And so, I've actually been selling these. It's awesome. People actually really enjoy it, and which is awesome because like they're clean, bro. They're clean. Obviously, you got the logo on there too. The Table Moments. Let's see if it zooms in. Ooh, that's clean, man. Look at dude. This has, I think, like 12 bills, 6 cards in here. This is how thin it is. This is a front pocket wallet. That's how I'm pitching it. At least that's how I'm going to be running ads. Yes, I'm going to have to run ads. Or continue to make videos, but I don't want to I don't know. I'm still debating back and forth whether or not I want to populate the page with a bunch of hey, I'm selling these wallets, guys. It's people who get it. People who don't. And so it's maybe I can just target people who actually are looking for something that they can put in their front pocket. They have things like the Ridge wallet, which is just basically a card holder, and it has metal edges and stuff. But people don't think about metal means it can scratch up your screen on your phone, which means you can't keep it in the same pocket as your phone unless you're careful about the placement and all that stuff. This is a ripstop nylon, and this has an interesting weave. Maybe I should call it snake skin or snake weave, whatever, just marketing effort. But this is the blue, the navy blue. We got the red here. The red looks, oh my God, the red really pops. Wait, let's see if it can catch it. Wait, and right now it's on facial tracking, so let's see if it, ooh, look at the red. Oh man, red's my favorite actually. Red's actually my favorite. Most popular color is black. This one here. This one, I don't have any cash in here. These are just cards, some blank cards I put in there. Obviously the Table Moments logo I put there. That's the new logo I'm thinking. The second most popular color is actually green here. It's green. And here's what it looks like. Pretty cool. And then lastly, gray. And people seem to like the gray one too. And I give them interesting names like Stonehenge Gray. And eventually I want to get into being able to switch this out for you guys as a custom order. So I've been experimenting. Yeah, you see that? I think that's pretty cool. I have a laser cutter that can cut all these vinyl patterns. And so I think it'd be really cool one day where I'd have to rebuild the website from scratch. I can't use a platform like Shopify, but essentially give you the option to switch out logos based on, there's this database called SVG Repo that has all these images and stuff that people can use for their websites, and that's essentially where I got this logo, this Table Moments logo. I just searched table, and dang, why is this not working? Come on, yeah, this SVG Repo. That's where I get it from, and so they have a bunch of logos, and that's where I also got the Panther logo too. And then this one's the blacked out matte version of the logo or of the vinyl, which I was thinking about putting it on the black one, and so you could have a murdered out black on black kind of thing, but I think it would have been too dark and you wouldn't have been able to see it. But just ideas. But people are giving me a bunch of ideas, which is great. People who bought the wallets who are oh, maybe you can make this design change, maybe you can make that design change. I'm yes, that's exactly, bro, it's awesome. And so now I got wallets. That's crazy, bro. I'm thinking maybe I was actually thinking that maybe this could turn into a men's brand kind of thing, or maybe Table Moments. It's funny. I'm gonna explain this story one day and just why'd you start this men's brand? Well, I was trying to figure out a way to monetize my podcast. It's such a crazy idea, but whatever. I like it. Really cool and interesting origin stories, and you guys are a part of it, which is I think even better. Dang, that looks so cool. This is a total of 30? No, it can't be 30 cards. Yeah, it is 30 cards. That's 30 cards right here. Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's the Table Moments wallet. I actually have a total of 18 orders, I think, which was pretty cool since I launched a couple weeks ago, without any I just put out one video that I didn't put that much effort into. I just like, hey, why did I design my own wallet? And then I just like did it. I didn't actually show the wallet. I didn't go into detail, and I already got 18 orders from that. So I'm thinking like if I actually right now my worry is like being able to manufacture enough of these, which I think is a dumb worry because why are you worried that you might accidentally get too many orders? You know, it's like that one person who goes to the gym. And he's like, oh, you know what? I don't want to go to the gym because I might accidentally get swole. You know, like anyone who goes to the gym knows that that doesn't happen by accident, and that's probably true for e-commerce too. Just because you launch a product doesn't mean people are going to actually want to buy it. You're going to have to do the marketing effort. You're going to have to convince people that this is something worth buying, which is why I'm getting into ads and learning all that. And you know, you think these billion-dollar corporations are trillion-dollar corporations? I think Facebook is right now, are competent, but their interface for anything sucks, man. Even their help documentation doesn't even link to anywhere. So it's just like, what was the point? I don't know, man. It's just like it's so frustrating when you see like giant corporations who are supposed to be good at this stuff, just horrible. Whatever. This is the world we live in. We're surrounded by incompetence, guys, even at the highest levels. So all the people talking about how tech companies, blah, blah, it's like they're idiots too. They're all idiots. But yeah, so that's the future of this. And then I'm actually a watch band maker who makes bands for Apple Watches. Reached out as a considering for like affiliate links or whatever, or to promote partnership or whatever. But I'm thinking like they have colors that match this, so I'm thinking maybe they pair together. You get the watch band that matches the wallet, and so like now you're color coordinated. And then, or maybe what if wallets are like purses for women? You know how women have a bunch of purses? They don't just have one. They have one for every style, for every outfit, or for various outfits, or when they're going out, or a clutch, all these different form factors. And I'm thinking like, what if wallets could be that way for dudes? You can switch out your wallet depending on your outfit. And so it becomes a fashion piece. So that'd be interesting. The color here, it looks more purplish than it actually is. Check it out on the website. I don't know. I was messing around with the colors today on the camera. So it looks more purplish, but it's actually a navy blue, a muted navy blue. I'm going to put it in the comment section so you guys can test:/tmo.tv thing. So yeah, you guys can check it out or cop one if you want. I mean, here's the thing: anyone who buys it from the Table Moments wallet now, or Table Moments website now, will get it at the price point I have it right now, $19.97. So basically $20. But the wider market, who aren't part of Table Moments, are going to pay probably 25, possibly $30 for it, because it's a wallet. It's premium, and it's ripstop material, which is cool. Surprisingly, it doesn't wear away. It doesn't like get dirty. If it gets dirty, like it was originally designed, this fabric is for awnings, a waterproof awning to like cover places. And so it's just like, it's durable. So I think that's the advantage this has. So it's pretty cool. Other topics I have for today. I talked about the new podcast episode with Asia. We talk about struggles of creating content, how AI will affect content creation, and his new album that he's working on that's coming out first quarter of 24. So look forward to that. Let me actually link his stuff here. I should have prepared that. Pinecast. Let me see. How am I going to find his links? Apple Podcast Table Moments. Or follow him on socials. I think socials are better. I'll plug his Instagram here. So, what? Doesn't show it on... Oh my God. Let's see. Instagram. I gotta update that link. What? Did he change his Instagram handle? Oh man. All right. I'm gonna plug his TikTok then. I'm gonna plug his TikTok. I know. This isn't. I'm gonna plug his TikTok. Here we go. Cool. Follow him there. When he releases a new album, he's probably gonna release it there. It's called Kelp. I think it's like an inside joke or whatever, but his music's really good. I would have played it on the beginning of this stream if I wasn't worried that it was gonna get this stream copyright striked. I still don't understand how to play music or whatever. without violating whatever. So that's this week, new episode. We talk about the 1% rule. So I ended up taking a bunch of clips from that episode and making clips, and I talk about the 1% rule, how most people don't realize like most of your content that you publish is not going to work. And that's how it's been true for me. I post over 700 pieces of content on Instagram, over 900 on TikTok over the last 3 years. And it's a small fraction, probably less than 1% of the content that actually went viral or got numbers that contributed to the entire growth of the following. Now, there's some caveat here. It's not just about the following. It's not just about going viral, but you get the following with the catalog. So when people see the other videos that you have, and if you look at my ratios of views to follows, it's a lot higher than most people. A lot higher, meaning I can get a lot of views, but not translate that to a lot of follows. And I could get a lot of likes and not translate that to a lot of follows. It's because I would like to think my content is controversial, or it's not for most people, but for the people it is for, it really, they really enjoy it. So like you can look at that ratio, the likes to follows ratio, and usually it's like 1-to-1 or 10% of likes turn into follows. For me, it's like probably closer to 2%, which sucks, but whatever. I can get views, so I don't mind it. Also, I posted a video this week, the Mike Pence rule. A lot of people in the comment section on Instagram particularly got a little butthurt about that one. Basically, his rule is don't spend any time alone with a woman who's not your wife. And apparently it's like Billy Graham, I think his name is. It's an old rule that Mike Pence, through the press, was popularized. And they were mocking him for it, as if it's a bad thing to never spend time alone with a woman who's not your wife. Because perception matters and everything. So I ended up talking about that, and a lot of people were like, oh man, you just have to not be a creep, whatever. It's just like, it's such an immature take or whatever. And then also have some comments on the creator economy. A lot of people are like, oh, it's dead, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, no. It's just harder to make content now than ever before. You know what? I don't know if that's even true. I think no one wants to do the hard work of making original content. And so people are taking the easy and lazy path, which is just typically reactions or finding an infinite content machine and sticking with that. So like jars filled with colored liquids falling down steps and then breaking. Like, it doesn't say anything. It's non-controversial. It's cool to look at and it's mesmerizing, but it doesn't actually, and no one's standing on business on anything anymore, because why? You get all this hate. Why don't you stick with safe content? And it's going to perform too, because it's just mesmerizing. So even like bigger names like Ben Shapiro, all the staff of the Daily Wire, now they're doing reactions. And it's just like, wow, how the mighty have fallen, man. Like, no one wants to do the hard work of making original content, because it is a lot of work. Having to come up with an idea, writing a script, rewriting the script, rewriting it again, then finally planning a shot list, then going out and getting the shots, which can be hard because it sometimes requires setup and costumes maybe, or planning or timing. Then you record all that stuff, so you're going to need the equipment and know how to use it all, and then make sure everything's set up right so you don't miss the shot or you don't mess up the audio. Then you bring it back into your editing suite, and you have to edit it. You have to learn how to do it. You have to know how to do it. You have to figure out how to put it together, and then finally ship it, put it out in the public. So all this effort, and then it doesn't do any views. And that's what it's just like, it doesn't make any sense financially to do all that. But what I think they're missing is like, that's not the point. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's like, all you care about is money. All they care about is money. And the world deserves a better class of creator. And I'm going to give it to them. So, so it's so much harder than making the lazy content and reaction content or all that stuff. So what is actually happening is it's opening up an area for creative people to come in, I think. That's my theory. Or maybe this is just me of making a positive out of a negative, Like it is harder to perform, to have content perform, but if you have the creativity and you're willing to put in the work, a massive amount of work, you can still get results, but then you'll be set apart because everyone's chosen to take the easier path. So you're making your own path essentially. I guess this is what people used to do, but reactions are easier because you're basically taking people's content. but they have to react to somebody else's content. That's the thing. Like someone made original content and that they're reacting to, so whatever. And then lastly, topic here is TikTok Shop. Some of you guys are watching on YouTube and Twitch. You guys don't know much about TikTok Shop probably, but essentially the reason why people were using TikTok as a platform to sell things is because of customer acquisition costs. It turns out when you sell anything, when you're producing or trying to engage in commerce with people publicly, the hardest part is getting people to know that you exist. And that is customer acquisition, the cost of customer acquisition. How much does it cost to get a new customer? And that costs money. You can't just say, hey, I got this stuff and it's obvious that it works. It's like you're going to have to convince people that what you're offering is legit, that it actually solves a problem for them or something that they value. And then they're going to open up their wallets to give you some money. That's expensive. That is expensive. And so you have to price that into the cost of your product. And so what people appreciate about TikTok is that essentially they'll give you views. They'll push your product in front of a lot of different people because they're trying to grow their platform as a shopping experience. And essentially even eliminating the cost of customer acquisition to essentially whatever it costs you to make that video. And they'll push it for you too because TikTok's incentivized to push it so they can grow their app as a way for people to shop. It's not something that's going to last, I don't think. But at least in the near term, people are taking advantage of it. I just added items to TikTok Shop. These things, I just increased the price of those to $24. But if you buy it from the website, linked in the sidebar here, you can buy it for $5 less. So, but yeah, customer acquisition costs. It sucks. Oh, look, it's like a deck of cards. Oh, that's an ad creative right there. Just like, which one do you want? And then you just go, boom, choose. You just go choose. Pick a card, any card. So, yeah, that's the wallet. All right, let's get the guys on TikTok on. I think I got this set up properly. Let's see. Cool. One person watching. I'm not sure where you are, but you're always on Twitch. What's up? All right, cool. Let me get a swig of water before I do this. One of the things about this live streaming stuff, especially when I go for hours, my throat feels it. Pause. But yeah, it does. If you're new here, this is a podcast about anything and everything. I just read comments, riff off of what people are saying, and it's a good time because I like to explore ideas, and I really try to avoid banning people. The only things I ban are spam. So if you have controversial or crazy things to say, I usually just indulge them. I feel like that's different these days among content creators online, but it is what it is. All right, let's go live here. Let me adjust here. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hey. I hate that I have to do 2 intros. One for you guys on YouTube who watch the replay, and then one for you guys on TikTok. It'd be cool if I could set up a streaming. I know some people do have stream keys where they use TikTok streaming, but you have to have a Windows PC for that, which sucks. Like, I know, you guys are gamers, whatever, especially you guys on Twitch, but nah, I'm a Mac guy. I make content, and it works. Mac is way better for content creation. It's like a workstation for people who make content. It's like, you could do it on a PC. It's like, I don't care to use Adobe Premiere, okay? I like Final Cut Pro. It's simple. I appreciate simplicity, which, I don't know, man. It seems like every day things are just becoming more and more complex, unnecessarily too. It's like, why? Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Hey, Dylan, Galloway, how's everyone doing? Hey, Asher boy. Hey, Moat, what's up? How's everyone doing? Welcome to Table Moms Live. I'm your host and Captain Ayman. This is the podcast about anything and everything. We try to avoid politics, but you guys always bring it in. I don't know why, but you do. And I know inevitably people are going to be putting flags in the comment section, which, whatever. I don't know if I have a strong opinion on it. My strong opinion is that I think most people should not have an opinion on the Middle East. That's my strong opinion. Just like, yo, man, but whatever. That's how I feel. What's up, man? How's it going, Moat? You have a Magikarp as your profile picture. It's not a Magikarp. Magikarp is just basically a goldfish, right? No, it's not. It's like I forget what they're called. I remember when Trump was like feeding the fish in Japan and everyone's like, oh my God, he's killing the fish by feeding them too much food. That's how bad the news was, guys. I don't know if you guys remember. My bad. I shouldn't have brought up politics. I just thought it was funny. I thought it was funny that they basically were trying to insult the guy because he was feeding fish too much food. That's how dumb our news is, guys. Here's the thing. We don't have to talk politics, but we can talk about, I actually wrote a script about fake news. You know fake news is fake news when the news is about you or something you were a part of. And that actually happened to me. I've actually been a part of something where the press framed it as one thing, but I was there and I know it wasn't that. But it doesn't stop them from writing that article that rile people up and get people emotional about something. It's just like, you guys have no idea how fake our news really is. Maybe it's no wonder why a lot of these news organizations are failing now. It's a shame, but whatever. How's everyone doing though? Mosey, what's up? Thanks for the rose. Somali? Are you Somali? Is it the Somalian flag? I feel like it is. I'm not Somali, by the way. Although, I feel like I could easily be a pirate. It's so shiny. Yeah, kind of. I got the light up overhead. Yeah, it's kind of shiny. I'm calling it a hair light, but there's no hair, so it's skin light. Oh, thanks for the follow, Fernando. What's up, Darky? Well, you put George Floyd as your profile. He's Darky too. Super Soaker 7. What's up, man? How are you doing, man? It's funny because, like, I'm pretty sure Super Soaker, the brand, the water balloon or the water gun brand, was invented by a black guy, an engineer actually. Hey, blessed mom of 3 dog lover IG Shrine. Is that how I say your name? Will Smith? I do not look like Will Smith. Oh my God, that is the worst look-alike comment I've ever received. No. What's goody? The life popping? Yeah, I think TikTok is just pushing it now. It's going to drop off soon. A lot of these people are not going to be able to handle my personality. Although I look very like doctor-ish, as some people say. No, we're pretty controversial and kind of out of pocket here, guys. So I know my luck. Yeah, I said it right. Shrine. Defund BLM. I'm with you, buddy, bro. I am. I'm not a fan of the scam that BLM has become. Well, it always was, though. So, whatever. Dr. Doolittle? Exactly. Yeah. If people said I look like Eddie Murphy, I'd be like, yeah, I can see it. Although he is a little darker than me. But it is okay. Well, I got a follow for saying your name right, Shrine. That's okay. You have a low bar. Antique farming equipment? What do you mean? What are you referring to? Antique farming equipment. Yo, David Hunt. How's it going, man? So glad you caught me live. You could also watch the replay. I mean, like, you? Oh, come on, bro. Yo, that's savage, not gonna lie. I took my hat off to that one if I was wearing one. That is funny. Antique farming equipment. Yo, that's funny, bro. Oh, that's savage. I like your energy, bro. Not many do. Lot. You so fine. You so fine. He's Ricky. Yeah, yeah. Okay. He died. Oh man, I don't know why TikTok does that. Oh, you just finished? Oh man, I wish I was on YouTube. I would have caught it. I think I subbed to you on YouTube. By the way, I'm also on YouTube and Twitch streaming if you guys are curious, if you want to see horizontal. Love you. Have a great day. You too, Super Soaker. Be careful where you soak. Be careful where you soak. You know what? Here's the thing. You guys ever heard of the term soaking that Mormons do, as they say? I think it's complete BS, by the way. It's just one of those like rumors you can say about a religion. And so it's like, oh, they're trying to get out of like premarital relations by just not actually engaging in the. It's like, come on, bro. That's not it. Mormons, yeah, soaking. You haven't heard of it? Maybe you want to Google it. I don't know if I could describe it here without getting the live banned. What's the worst smell? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I. Yeah, I don't know. Like someone throwing up, probably. That's it. Like stomach content is pretty awful. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, Mormons. You were making a lo-fi beat live because I've been neglecting. Ooh, okay. When's it dropping, bro? Are you going to be in the same place in the next 3 hours? Probably, Jimmy Nuggets. Hey guys, let me be your wings. Here for a good time with friends. Hashtag Biden. Ooh, you're not gonna like me, bro. You're not gonna like me. But you're still welcome to stay here if you'd like. That's up to you. uh, so I did a live to hold myself accountable. Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah. I don't know. Like I have a rule about going lives too. Every week. I got to do it every week, whether or not. I think last week was kind of low energy. No. Jose was on here. So it was kind of cool. But I don't know how to invite someone on here and still keep it engaging just yet. So, because it was basically just a conversation between me and Jose. And it's just like, why? I don't know if you guys even care to watch it, you know? I voted for Kanye in 2020. That's why. Good evening. Sending positive vibes. Oh, thanks, Muse. Oh, that would be a earn. Wait, that would have earned a follow. Okay. Yeah, I voted for Kanye. I wrote him in. It was state of New York, so it didn't matter. It was always going to go in the Biden direction. So I was like, eh. I think it would have been really cool if like Kanye could have gotten 1 million votes across the country. That would have sent a message to both parties that maybe the black vote isn't as reliable as they thought it was. You know, most people weren't thinking big brain like I was. So whatever. It is what it is. People are really disappointing sometimes. And something you just got to learn how to accept. Hey, what's up? That would be cool. Would have been cool. Yeah, that would have been cool. Just for the message. I don't know, like for a lot of places, it's like the vote's gonna go. Like, ah, man, maybe I have to make a video about the electoral college because I don't think people understand. Like in most states, it's winner take all. So it's like if that's gonna be the case and it always goes in one direction, then you might as well make your vote worth something by sending a message. That's the way I thought, but whatever. What platform are you using? I know I asked that before. I'm on TikTok and YouTube and Twitch at the same. Oh, I use StreamYard for streaming this stuff. I want to get into OBS. But right now I just use StreamYard and it does the YouTube and Twitch, and then I have you guys on TikTok Live on my phone here. That would have been Illinois always goes same, yeah. So it's just like, if it's going to happen, then you might as well like use your vote to say something, you know? That's the way I thought. I was living in upstate New York. I was like, whatever. The state always goes blue. So let me throw, but you know, I guess people felt some type of way about 45. So whatever, you know, it sucks, man. It sucks that people don't think bigger, but maybe that's what a platform is useful for. But I don't care to convince people to vote one way or the other. Like, that's on you guys. That's on you guys. Plus, I don't think it's appropriate. People with platforms shouldn't be influencing votes that way. Saying people with platforms, I don't think should vote at all. At all. It's hella biased. Hella biased. But that's not going to stop journalists from voting, which is why it's like our press has essentially become whatever. I thought the same thing here in Arkansas. It's a winner take all, so might as well send a message. Exactly, exactly. Which is funny because Arkansas is spelled weird. It's not spelled as it sounds. Arkansas. Do you know for the longest time I thought it was Arkansas? Because here's the thing: growing up, I always learned things by reading them. My parents are immigrants, so like all the English I learned was through books, and so that's how I learned language through reading, a lot of reading. So look at this: Arkansas is Arkansas, Arkansas, Arkansas. That's how it sounds. That's how it's pronounced, at least based on how it's spelled. But it's Arkansas, guys. It's Arkansas. And so I can imagine like people who aren't familiar with the U.S. just like. And then I remember having a debate with somebody who's just like, no, clearly it's Arkansas. And it's like, no, it's Arkansas. It's just like, what? Where's the saw? You know, man, that's the thing. So if someone pronounces words incorrectly, be careful before judging them as someone who is either who's dumb or isn't smart, because they probably learned words through reading. In fact, they taught themselves words, and so they're actually the opposite a lot of the time. Not that I'm calling myself smart. I'm just saying, like, yeah. You present the information, people make their own decisions. Yeah, that's how it should go, I think. Which related to that Arkansas comment, I also Sean, the name Sean. I thought it was seen when I first saw it, and I got in an argument with a Sean about his own name. He's like, "No, it's a scene," or he's like, "No, it's Sean." I'm like, "No, look at it, Sean, Scene. That's your name, bro, Scene." He's like, "No, my name is Sean." I remember his fifth grade. I was sitting right next to him. And he's just like, I was like, why are you so stupid, bro? You don't even know how to pronounce your own name? Look at it. That's the thing with English, man. There's all these there's all these exceptions with like spellings and names and stuff like that you just gotta learn. And so this is why it's so hard, I can imagine, to learn English as a second language. It's gotta be hard. Like those of us who grew up in English speaking households, you have no idea how blessed we are. Because not only one, it's a difficult language to understand. It's not a romantic language like a lot of languages in the world are, so where they're gendered and stuff. So it's just a mental shift on that. Even the way you order adjectives and nouns is completely different from a lot of the romance languages. And then on top of that, English is the language of business. It is dominantly become that. So in order to do well, you probably have to learn English. Economically speaking. So we have a leg up. It truly is a blessing to know English, to have that have been our first language. How do you pronounce Soban? Is it Soban? Soyban? I don't know. What is that? Is someone's name? We took the Native American way of saying Arkansas and the French way of spelling it in a compromise. I didn't realize there's history behind why it's pronounced the way it is, but okay. Man, it's just confusing. It's so confusing, man. But it is what it is. But what do you guys have on your minds? I have a few topics that I prepared, but we're just riffing right now. And I think a lot of you guys are new here. For those of you who don't know, my name is Ayman. I'm the host of the Table Moments podcast, where we talk about anything and everything, try to avoid politics. We came out with a new episode this week, so check it out. It's on YouTube or any podcasting stream, where we talk with a rapper named Asia, and he's coming out with an album later this early 2024, and we talk about content creation from the music and social media side. We talk about AI and how that can affect a bunch of stuff. It was a really deep conversation, and I think it's pretty good. But you guys decide by giving it a chance or not. It's Siobhan. Nah, that can't be it, bro. No, David, come on. Siobhan? Dang, that's crazy. No one would guess that. No one would guess that. That's crazy. I will. Man, let's see. S-I-O, S-I-O-B-H, Thompson. Oh, it's Irish origins. Ooh, names are interesting. Well, popular names mean God is gracious and can be traced back all the way to Ireland. Interesting. Gaelic. Yeah, Gaelic. There you go. I don't know. How do you guys feel about interesting baby names? Very. Here's the thing. Like my girl and I, obviously, when you got a girl, she comes up. You guys think about names or what your kids could sound like, whatever. And I'm not going to reveal what we've come up with, but I think they're pretty fire. They're pretty fire baby names that I think most people would be like, ugh, it's too much. It's like, nah, bro. These are gigantic names. Not like in length, but in stature. So I'm not going to share it though. I'm not going to share it with you guys. Some things remain private. La'a is very interesting. I don't know what that is. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, names are interesting. And man, I was about to say something, but Ladasha, yeah. I don't know. Names, even like, I don't know. Names are interesting. I was thinking about this, like when people talk about how names, the Freakonomics guys talk about how names can influence your ability to get jobs and your on resumes and stuff, and the number of callbacks you can get and stuff like that. But I was thinking like, even gender wise, if anyone wants to make the claim that a certain type of name can hurt them, then all you could do is just change your name and submit your resume and see what happens. Get the callback, and then you can tell them, oh yeah, actually my name is this. I go by this publicly, whatever. It's a nickname. You can say it's a nickname. No one needs to know your real name when you submit a resume. Like, I don't understand. So like, even ladies, if you think it's easier for a man to get the job, just write your name as a male version of your name, and then they whatever. That de-escalated quickly. That's not true anymore. What, that people have biases with names? No, people still have biases, natural biases. It's crazy. I see, like, I came up with this. They have visual biases and they have cultural biases too. Now, do I think it's inappropriate? I don't know. People are people. They have their natural biases. That's just how people are. They're tribal by nature. And so if you're expecting to change people, it's like, I think that's foolish. But if you're willing to accept people as they are and just work within some of the constraints, then maybe you have a shot. That's how I feel about it. Like, I don't know if my name's ever been the reason why I didn't get a call back. All right, see you later, David. See you later. Yeah, names. Like the Freakonomics guys, they wrote a book talking about how black names versus white names and the number of callbacks you'll get from a resume or whatever. You know what was interesting? The transition of names. So like male names can become female names, but the reverse isn't true. And so it's like people choose male names for their daughters all the time. Like Casey used to be a male name. Now it's become, I think, more of a female name. And there's other examples that they were using in there that I can't think of right now. But generally that's happens. And then there's also the transition of classes. So the economic class of a name can change. So it starts off as higher class, then turns lower class. And it always only goes in that direction. And so like, I think the Lins used to be higher class and then they became lower class. And then they never go in the opposite direction. So the upper class people always look for new names to stand apart, and then the lower class ends up copying it. and then the black culture tends to like make their own variations of certain names, which I don't know if it's necessarily bad, but I think it can be weird if it's hard to spell or pronounce, but whatever. So yeah, that's names. Man. And so like even the name I tell you guys isn't technically my real name. It's the name everyone calls me. So I have a nickname that kind of really stuck. So that's what I go by now. So it's weird because it's like sort of my personalities have split. I have two personalities. One, my government name, where I'm one person, and then Ayman, which is the name you guys get to feel. And this is, I feel like the real me, even though it's the nickname. And so it's just, I'm not split. Okay, I don't have split personality, but it's kind of like a different like mindset I get into when I don't know. Which is funny because my girl calls me my government name. She's the only one because that's how she met me. That's how she met me when we first met. And so it's just like she will be the only person who calls me by my government name, and everyone else will call me by my nickname. But I think that's always like the case, right? Where a spouse calls him by his full name or something when everyone calls him by his nickname, kind of thing. Hey there, Mac. What's up? How do you know I'm a big boy? How do you know I'm a big boy? So some topics I have for tonight. Talking about these wallets that I released. Pretty cool. This is my daily right now. 5 colors that you can buy on TikTok Shop. If you're interested in a thin front pocket wallet, that's what this looks like. And I've been getting into e-commerce. I guess the e-commerce game, I've been learning a lot about it and gonna start running ads literally tomorrow. If I can figure out Facebook ads, which are complicated as hell. I don't know why, but they just are. And then the dynamics of e-commerce and how interesting. Do you got one in black? Because I love black. Yep, I got one in black. Yeah, this one right here. Black. The black ones are the best. Okay. Here's the thing. Like a watch band maker reached out to me because I have clout, and they come in colors similar to this. So I was thinking like it'd be interesting if I could pair the wallets with a watch band, so then they come as like a package kind of thing, or if I can source them myself. And yeah, that's what they look like. Front pocket wallet. 12 bills, 6 cards in here. You could put up to 8 cards. And probably a couple more bills in there. So probably like closer to 15 bills. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And I invented these. Not invented is weird. I use a laser cutter to cut these out, which is, I think is pretty cool. The science behind it, you could see it all on the website. If you want to buy it, I would recommend buying it from the website and not TikTok Shop. Because you'll get it $5 cheaper and you get a pretty cool gift, I would say, with it. I don't want to ruin it, but those are the people who've been on live before, they know what it is, and I think they get a kick out of it too. I'm gonna buy some white ones and the black ones, and I'm gonna separate them. Can I hide cash from my wife with that wallet? That's what I need. Yep. That's like, it's crazy that you even bring that up, but this folds up. You can put cash there, and then you can fold it back down and hide it. And so it folds down, and then boom, you can have the money there, and she can open it and be like, "Where's the money?" I have actually backup cash. That's what I use in here. I put backup cash in the back here. So I think it's pretty cool. But get it from the website if you can. Links in the description. You'll get a better price, and you get an extra some in there with it too. I don't know how I feel about TikTok Shop, you know? Because like I feel like it's just trained people to expect things to cost way lower than they should, you know, because they subsidize the cost of everything. So it's like I don't know if I want those types of customers who are going to be, one, expect it to be way cheaper than it costs to even make, or the effort that it takes, and then two, complain about it because, you know, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing about e-commerce and just people in general. People who are really stingy with money tend to be the most picky with it and with the things that they buy. And it's just like, bro, it's $20. Like, really? Y'all really going to be, not that I like it. I use this. This is my daily. So I know the quality of this stuff. I know it's good, but like, man, people, man, I don't know. There's a certain class of people who are just like, that $10 really matters to you, then don't buy it, man. This is a nice convenience thing. It's a nice convenience thing. But I do think, here's the thing, you can buy something like this on Amazon, similar design, similar style and idea for $57. That's why I made this, because I didn't want to spend $57 for a thin wallet like this. I knew I could make this, so I figured out how to make it, and I ended up making it out of this ripstop material, sourced the material off of Amazon, so I have access to it, and then I use a laser cutter, so that's why you can get like edges, super clean edges here. Laser cut. It's laser cut, and I actually got a laser cutter that TikTok actually paid for, by the way. And then I fuse the edges, which I think is the coolest thing about this. I call it a shear seam. So here, I actually fuse the edges together so it becomes one piece because it's a ripstop nylon. So the technology, the innovation here, I think is pretty cool. And so it'd be cool to get into the textile game and like make clothes this way too, where you don't sew things anymore, you fuse them. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think Nike has some garments like that, but I think they use it just, I don't know. It's a thing for like, whatever. Nice, man. People are going to complain about everything, especially those with more than most. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. That's why it's like I'm trying to be selective about people who buy this, because I actually have to hand make these right now. I'm also thinking about like the manufacturing process and building that out. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'm an engineer by training, and that's why I'm able to make stuff like this. But yeah, it's thinner than a Ridge wallet and carries more. And it won't scratch up your phone screen, so you can keep it in your front pocket with your phone, which is what I do. So it's for people who understand it. They really like it. And so I've gotten orders already. So like, it's dope. Like I first launched it on Instagram, and a bunch of people bought it, and they're just DMing me, or they left it in the comments like, yo, this is, they get it. They get it. Once you start using it, you're like, oh my God, this is way smaller than my regular wallet. And it's like, yeah, because it's as small as it can be. The minimum amount. And I even sized it perfectly for American currency, so you don't have it oversized like you see a lot of wallets are. I always hated that because they use it as a way to just make one product and sell it in multiple markets with different sized currencies. I'm just like, nah. The cool thing about this is like I can actually make a custom one for Canada and their money. And so it's like maybe the future of textiles and design and fashion and accessories are custom made. And even with this idea, like right now, this is the Table Moments logo that I've been using, but eventually I want to be able to like give you guys options to like put your own logos on there, or maybe other stuff that might be cool. That'd be really cool, but I'm not there yet. It's probably like 6 months to a year out, because I'd have to redesign the entire website and build it from scratch. Because I don't know if Shopify has that sort of type of add-on where you can add like customizations to products like this. Plus, I'd have to figure out the whole manufacturing process, which I also use lasers to cut this out. I think it's pretty cool. So, yeah, it's not drop shipped. It's all made here in America. That's what I'm about. So, yeah, that's the wallet, man. That's the wallet. And then hopefully some matching bands come with it too. That'd be really cool. And yeah, that's product design. And then it's not enough to design the product. Now you have to promote it. And so this is the, I think, tough thing for people who aren't in this space, making content or launching products, don't realize like the hardest part is getting people to know that you even exist. That's the hardest part. If you're going to start anything new, I'd recommend first figure out how people are going to know about you. That's the hardest part. You can figure out everything else. Everything else is not the hard part. The hard part is letting people know you exist, because yeah, it's expensive to let people know, or it costs a lot of time and energy to let people know you exist. It's a tough thing, man, which is why I like this Table Moments, and what I've done here so far is that I can help put people on. You know, there's a lot of people doing actually really good work out here. Like I just interviewed Isaiah. He's a rapper from the East Coast, and we got a chance to interview him, and he makes really good music. But it's hard to grow a following when you're making stuff, producing stuff, and then also like now you have to make content on top of that and promote yourself. It's just like it's too much to ask for one person to do. And then they're like, oh, but you need a team. It's like no one wants to work with someone who hasn't come up yet. You see the problem here? The game really is rigged. It's rigged in that sense, because it's like you can't do it all by yourself, or at least it's incredibly hard, or you're gonna have to make some really deep sacrifices to do it all yourself. You're gonna have to learn a lot just for people to even give you a shot to work with you. Then you get to the point that maybe you can bring some people along. But then even then, you guys are still gonna have to grind and struggle and try to figure things out and experiment a lot just to make it. Just to make it. Get a little bit of attention. And then you realize the bigger players are established. They already have the clout and they have the money too because they have the clout. And so they can just like, it's a vicious feedback cycle of like winners win, losers lose. And it's just like, yeah, the game is rigged. The game is rigged. And it's not by design. It's just the natural way of things. Like people in positions of advantage can get more of it. And it's this idea of accumulation of advantage. Like even now, now that I have a significant following on TikTok or even on Instagram, it's a lot easier for me to get views now. A lot easier. Not that every video will hit, but 1 out of 10 will do numbers. I don't know if the content is that good, but that's what the metrics show. And it's just, man, but I remember like in the beginning, it was so hard. It was so hard. I was posting, getting 10, 50 views maybe on Instagram. Now I could post a video that's not that good with bad lighting, edited. I don't know. There's only so much I could do in the editing. It's already at 2,000 views, which I mean, is still small, but like it should not even get 50, So does clout equal money? Kind of. In the information age, yeah, it does. Unfortunately, clout equals money. And you realize it's not even just clout, it's just attention. So people don't even have to it doesn't even have to be positive clout. People just need to know you exist. But yeah, clout does equal money. Can you say my name? Chase. What's up, Chase? Which sucks. Nice to see you here, Brooklyn. Cali. Clout definitely equals money nowadays. Yeah, it's a shame, dude. I don't know if it's a shame. I just don't like how rigged it all is, Because it's just like clout. Which is why I was thinking like the only ways to get clout these days is getting lucky. I mean, the easiest way to get clout is for someone else to give it to you. It's just this like, oh, someone else puts you on. Oh, I just got signed by Drake. Or you saw this with Bobby Altoff, right? The podcaster who blew up overnight because she got Drake on her podcast. Industry plant, as they say. But you see, a person can blow up out of nowhere because of someone else's clout. And then you start realizing, oh, this is the game that's being played on social media. It's clout exchange. One person with an audience goes onto another podcast with another person with an audience, and now they share audiences. But most podcasters are not interested in bringing on a guest that doesn't already have clout coming with them. You see the game here? Or some people actually pay these people who do have clout to come on their podcast. Did you guys know that? Did you know that? Some of these podcasters are paying for their guests to come on. Because they know. And here's the thing. A lot of these guests come on for the payday. This whole thing is rigged, guys. The whole thing. And you're just like, everything centers around money and attention. Like, why do you think Lil Nas X does the devil demonic stuff, and then now he's leaning into the Jesus stuff? It's all about controversy and attention and clout. And we actually talked about this on this week's episode, like with the rapper. He was explaining like, no one stands on anything anymore. It's all about just like attention and controversy and like trying to grow. And it's a shame. It's rigged and people definitely need connections, but it sometimes doesn't equate sales. Yeah, that's true. So it's a requirement, but it's not all you need. It's necessary, but you need more than that. You need more than that. And so you realize like there's all these like little things that you have to get right in order to make it all work together. So it's not enough to just have clout. You also have to make, I don't know if goodwill is necessary. Mac is weird, but, oh no, did something happen? Okay. Yeah, clout is necessary, but but you need more than that. If you're going to be offering something that's legitimately useful would be good. It doesn't have to be. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out that part. That's why, like, even these wallets, I don't know if this is going to be the final thing, but I know I like it, which is why I am sharing it with people. It's an opportunity. They can use it too. But yeah, it's not just connections. You can get signed to Drake, but your music still has to hit, you know? But then at that point, I feel like the music industry, they can convince people what to like. Like, I listen to stuff every now and then. I go to YouTube and go to the music section and listen to what people are listening to, whatever's on the top charts, whatever. I'm just like, I don't know. It's basic. It's basic. But I guess it's basic is good actually. Basic is good because it has broad appeal. But then you see how watered down everything gets because in the world of the information age and the algorithms, the thing that has the broadest appeal is the thing that will catch the algorithm, the wave, because all it's doing is A/B testing content with people. These algorithms don't know what is actually good content. You tell them what is good content through your engagement, through your watch time, through your average view duration. They're using you to decide what is good content. But naturally, that means it's human judgment and taste, which if you want to appeal to human judgment, appeal to their vices, which is why you get the content you get. Like, it's all just garbage. Like relationship stuff, divisive relationship stuff, money stuff, health stuff, because these appeal to people's vices. The money is the greed, and the relationship stuff is lust, and the health stuff is vanity. You know, those are the big three. So, man, once you start seeing it, you're just like, oh my God, the world we live in is crazy, bro. Necessities or a service that people need, yeah. The gray one caught my eye. You should have a new order from your website. Oh, thanks, man. I'll get to it. I'll try to ship it out tomorrow. But yeah, it's interesting. People really like, these are the top colors right now. These are the top colors. The black is the number one color. The green is the second most popular color, and then the gray is the third one, which is interesting because I'm partial to red actually. I really like red, but that's not for everybody. But I appreciate the order, bro. I'll get to it. I'll ship it out tomorrow, and yeah, and then let me know what you think. And yeah, you're good, man. Whenever you have time. I don't know. Like, I want to get as good as Amazon, you know, because like I like to support small businesses too, but and all the feedback people have given me so far is improve the wallet. So I want to get to the point that I get the operations down so that then I can put some ad money towards it and push it to a wider audience. But I appreciate your order, teed up, and you're going to get something. It comes with a little something extra with it. I hope you enjoy it. But yeah. Jordy says, would you consider putting an AirTag slot? Maybe as an add-on. Apparently older men lose their wallets a lot. I haven't considered, but that'd be interesting. I don't know. It kind of ruins the feng shui of this wallet if I put an AirTag. I don't know where I would put it. Could I put it? I guess you could easily stick it on there, but it would just like look like a bulge, like a cancer coming off of it. So I don't know if it would work. I'll consider it though. Like, no ideas are bad. Let's see. Amazon is its own creature. Yeah, but I kind of aspire to be that quick with shipping things out. It's actually, I've gotten to a point where I can make these pretty quickly. The packaging actually takes more time because I have to do it by hand. Eventually, I'm going to have to find someone who can make out. I won't show what it is, but essentially, like, I end up putting these cuts in here to hold the wallet. It's actually pretty like economical and environmental packaging because I don't use any plastics in there, which I think is pretty cool, but I just like the simplicity of it. But it would be cool to get to the point where I can have the packaging manufactured, and then it would be so much faster. You should have 3 products that go together selling at the same time. Yeah, I know. I just haven't quite figured out what those products are going to be. I'm thinking a watch band might make sense. Conversing with a watch band company for Apple Watches that come in similar colors to these wallets. So I think it'd be cool to combine those. And then I don't know if you remember, I had the transparent wallet. I think that'd be a cool add-on for people who want to like sticker bomb their own wallet as like a sort of flex, or if they have a bunch of stickers from a lot of different sources. I might make a video about that. as a way to promote this one, and say that is an add-on product. But I haven't figured out the manufacturing process for that yet. I can make those by hand, but actually like making those at volume is kind of hard right now. Maybe you should promote to health conscious people who don't want plastics, which is funny because this is, I know I could, but then this is plastic. Technically, this is nylon. Nylon is a plastic thread. It's a artificial thread. This is ripstop nylon. So if it does get ripped, it doesn't fray. It stops rips. So I don't know if that's genuine. Could I tell people, hey, our packaging is entirely biodegradable, but the wallet itself is made out of plastic? I don't know. That's a little misleading, but yeah. But apparently there are health issues with like people and their wallets, keeping it in their back pocket and sitting on it, and it causes spinal issues or something. I don't know if it's legit. Maybe that could be an easy case because I've been marketing this as a front pocket wallet. A front pocket wallet. That's what I've been doing. And so if you look at the marketing material, that's what. But I appreciate the comment though, Brooklyn. I appreciate it. But yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. But these are cool. I can't believe a podcast led to product design. That's crazy, guys. Yo, every now and then I just think about the future. I'm just like, this is a crazy life. It's like, all right, why'd you get on? I even made a story this week where I was explaining like the only reason I'm on social media is because of the podcast. And the only reason I started the podcast was one of those things that came out of the pandemic. Like I wasn't interested. I hated social media. I'm not a social media guy. This is why it's been so hard for me. That's why it's taken so long. It's why I've had to put so many pieces of content out here because I don't know what people like. I don't know what people resonate to. So it literally is just me putting myself out here. Just, hey, this is me. This is what I like. These are the things I'm interested in. Yes, I like science. I like figuring out how things work. I like explaining things. I like noticing patterns in society and explaining my version of what is actually happening. That's what I like doing. And if you guys like it too, then you're welcome to join. And that's essentially how I did it. And now I got a following. It's crazy. And I was just thinking like, man, when I started, I think everyone would have called me crazy because I'm not a social media guy. Even my personal, I don't know, it's crazy. Can you make a peanut butter wallet? It'd be interesting to add some scents to this, like peanut butter scent. But I think it would have to be a bread wallet though. You have to be authentic and the right people will follow. Yeah, that's true. But it is a grind. It is absolutely a grind. Because it's going to take a long time because you have to go. Here's the funny thing about social media. You have to go through the masses to find your people. You have to go through the masses to find your people. And the masses are not going to understand what you're doing. They're not going to get you by being authentic, especially if you're weird or you're interesting in a way that most people aren't familiar with. If you're different, especially artists and creative types have really struggled with this. I have this like safe appearance here, but then as soon as I open my mouth, people are like, oh, okay, he's edgy for sure. But at the same time, I don't know, I guess it's like peacocking. Just looking interesting is sometimes a way to grow. But yeah, the way the algorithms work, the way the software works is it goes through the masses to find. And so you have to basically stack up, slowly getting people one by one. And that's essentially how this started. I've never done any promotion. No one's ever given me clout. Literally, it's just me putting content out there, and one by one, every video would be pushed to a small cohort of random people, most of whom didn't mess with the content I was making. But there was a small percentage of them who did. And then it got to a point when you get lucky sometimes where you do appeal to the masses, but then they look at your catalog and they really mess with your stuff. That's when you shoot up. And that's like the overnight success, they say. But it ain't overnight. It's a grind. It is a grind. And that's essentially what happened to me. Which is why it's like when people ask me advice, how do I grow on social media? I'm just like, bro, I don't think I have any useful advice. The only advice I can give is like keep putting content out there and trying a bunch of stuff. And I like the comment of being authentic, but it makes it harder. What is safe? Safe is like staying away from controversy. Like people say controversy sells whatever on social media. It's like, no. I used to think that too. I was just naturally controversial. I am, I would say, in some of the things I believe, but the things that blew up the Instagram account to a large following were not, I don't know. It wasn't that controversial. Like I made a video about microwaves. That's what blew up the account. A video about microwaves. It's like safe is always better. Safe with the broad appeal where you're teaching, there is a hunger for learning. So if you can teach someone something that they wouldn't know, like hacks, tips, tricks, those are useful too. But yeah, what's more important, what you say or how you say it? I would say both. I know it's not the answer you want to hear, Londell, but both. Now, how you say it is important because when it comes to content, and this is the context that I can only speak to, um, like when you're editing this stuff, like the pacing matters. The pacing matters, and that's essentially how you're saying it. How you're saying. So that's the editing part, and so kind of what you say is also really important. What you say is the idea. The idea is the limiting thing about. So this is where like when Mr. Beast talks about the idea is the most important thing. That's what he's talking about. Like an idea that has broad appeal, or can hook someone and keep someone's interest. That's the most important thing. Get the idea right, and then how reaching that potential. This is just all just a theory, but how getting full potential out of that idea is dependent on how you say it, and so it's a two-part equation here. That's what I would say. Sometimes afraid of stating my opinion. I'm learning to be vocal online in real life. Yeah, real life is a little weird because you have to deal with people. Like you go to work and you have to work with them, right? And some people just aren't made for like honesty, you know? But yeah, I have to be careful. You can have a bit of controversy, but I think people are tired of toxic and angry. Yeah, I think people are tired of angry. But I don't know. Anger can be righteous. If it's righteous anger, I think you can get away with it. In fact, I think it's welcomed when you can point out something that's going on in the world that everyone feels, but no one's willing to say or is afraid to say. But I think you make a good point here that controversy for the sake of controversy, when you don't actually believe it, I think people can tell. People can smell it now. But if it's controversy because it's legitimate, then people resonate with that because they can sense that you mean it, that you feel it. And so there's this guy that I just followed on TikTok, the war within, the underscore war underscore within. And he's controversial, but it's a righteous controversy type of thing. But yeah, yeah. What happened to your lion's mane, bro? You mean my head? My hair on my head? I'm just bald, bro. It's just how it is. Happens to some of us. Do they let you play a lot of basketball in prison? I think so. I don't know. I've never been, but it would be cool to just play a game of pickup with them. Just like ball out real quick. It's like, I'll play you for your life. No, that's mean. That's mean. But yeah, I think people are getting to the point where we can tell whether or not someone's authentic. So if they're controversial but they're authentic, then it's. I think people can get behind it. But I think people are over the whole controversy just for the sake of controversy, which I've never been. I don't say controversial things just to get trigger out of people. I will edit it to be more triggering, but it's still what I believe. And then because I edit my own videos, I know how you can take video and make it sound way worse or way better than you want it to, or than it actually is. And so that's like when people see these videos online of just like, oh, Jonathan Majors, or like, oh, this conflict in the Middle East and whatever. I'm just like, you guys have no idea the power an editor has before they share the video with you. You guys have no clue. Unless you're in it, you have no clue. You can actually make a clip sound the opposite of what the person recorded actually said. You can do that without actually adding any additional footage. %, about the media, yeah. Dude, it's a shame. It's a shame. That's what we're surrounded by. And then here's the thing. On the one hand, I feel like people should have a responsibility for what they believe and what they expose themselves to. On the other hand, they are no match for professionals, like who are skilled at lying and deceiving people in mass. So it's just like, dang. And then the internet has connected us all. Like the rapper we brought onto the podcast made a really good point about this. He's like, look, we are too exposed to people and their ideas, in that, like, you can have one person who says apples are great, apples are healthy, and then another person says you can't eat red apples, they're bad for you, and you don't know what to believe, because how could you know? They both sound legitimate. They all sound like they are speaking with conviction. What do you do? And so it's like the internet. I don't know. It's supposed to offer us access to information and truth. In reality, it just exposed us to more lies. It's crazy, man. Yeah, I don't know. Just had my first kid last Tuesday, my guy. Congratulations, bro. Boy or girl? Boy or girl? Please don't be a turd joke. Please don't be a turd joke. I really want to be happy for you, bro. Definitely expanded knowledge, though. Yeah. Girl. Oh. I don't know. Like, I've joked about it with my fiance about, like, oh man, we gotta have a boy. Boys are easier. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe God plans a girl for me. And I think I'm at peace with that. Good for you, bro. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. You can search whatever you want on Google and there's a story on it. Yeah. Here's a funny thing. Sometimes it's hard to find the opposite side if it's against Google's politics. Like, sometimes it's hard to find information. Try to find information about, like, I don't know, controversial things that they don't like, and they're hard to find. You know what's really hard to find? Primary sources. I can't believe it, but, like, whenever there's an article talking about some legislation that passed, do you know how hard it is to find the actual legislation among all the articles in the press who reported on it? And then the press doesn't even link it in their own article. So now you get just like, I want to find where this legislation is. I want to read the bill, the text itself, but you got to go through possibly to the second page of Google to find the page. It's crazy. It's crazy. You're definitely going to have a girl first. Yeah, it's God's plan, I guess. 2 girls, dad here, it's the best. What's the best about it, though? What's the best about it? I think, because here's the thing. I assumed boys were just going to be more fun. You can ball out with them. You can have fun, all that. And, they can get their scuff up knees when they're playing, horsing around, and you don't have to worry about it. But, which is funny because, like, my girl, my fiance was kind of raised like a boy, though. So maybe, I don't know. Did you know the sex before birth? That's a good question. Ooh, yes. When's the last time you balled out, though? Yeah, I messed up my knee, so I'm going to have to get surgery on that. It'd be cool to take them on an ice rink, though. And, like, hockey would be really cool. Or, yeah, whatever. Let's see. The access to information has definitely expanded knowledge, though. Any curiosity is cured within seconds rather than contemplating. That's true. I'm a girl dad and she's amazing. You're going to love it. Ooh, okay. Do you have a son, though? Do you guys have sons, or are you guys just speaking from the perspective of only having had girls? Because that would be interesting. Someone who's had both, and then they could give some real opinions about which one would be better. I don't understand why. I didn't mean for the balloons, guys. I think if you just do symbols in front of Apple, they add it. It's a video overlay. Thanks, my guy. They purposely made it hard. You can go to congress.gov and search keywords. Yeah, I know. But it's a shame that, like, when there's a news article, that they don't even link to the primary source, which always pisses me off. I'm just like, cite your work. This is like I don't know. Is it too much to ask? Basic ethics in journalism to actually cite your work, or at least give people access? That's how you know they're lying to you guys, because they don't link to the primary source. And then when you read this stuff, you're like, wait, that's not what this says at all. It's like, dads love daughters the way moms love sons. Fair enough. Girl melt your heart. Yeah, I can imagine that being a thing. What's goody in the hoodie? What's up, Jose? We're talking about kids right now. Boys versus girls. You'll put on a tiara for your daughter and not think twice about it as long as she's happy. What? I don't know. I guess, but like my wife had infertility issues, so we were blessed. Our blessing was just one girl. Oh, okay. God is great. Indeed. God is great. What are your favorite podcasts? All the time. My podcast. But I do listen to other handful. I don't know if I can think of them off the top of my head. Let me catch up with comments here on YouTube. Something about being the first man they'll ever love. Yeah. That's sweet. It makes your camera freeze. You should figure out how to disable effects. Yeah, I know. My bad. I don't know. Anytime you put hand symbols on a camera connected to a Macintosh or any Apple device, it sometimes reads it as like a emoji or some sort of. It puts an overlay. So right now, they were just balloons. It was not intentional, guys. It wasn't intentional. Do you have any ideas on how I can test if a girl I'm close to is into me? She want to be around you a lot, bro. Like, you don't have to convince her to spend time with you. She'll want to spend time with you. That's how you know she's into you. But they don't like saying it though. That's the thing. Like a lot of the time, especially when you're first dating, they don't like saying it. Also, the texting rule also helps too. Like if you guys are texting back and forth, if she's texting more than you are, she's into you. Typically, if she finds reasons to be around you, she's into you. So it's not even a test. It's just signs. Girls aren't as overt as guys. Well, I don't think guys are overt either, but certain types of guys are. But yeah, and you learn through practice, getting more experience with people. You start learning. Girls are easier to raise than sons in the early years than as teens. It's the opposite. Here's the thing. Girls are like, you have to worry about the world when it comes to girls. Like, yeah, when they're young, I think boys and girls, I wouldn't imagine being too different other than like hygiene differences, because girls, maybe the hair thing, it's harder to maintain. But then as they get older, you realize the world is going to try to like corrupt her more than your son. Well, the world will try to corrupt both of your kids, but with women, you have to worry about the predators, because it's easy. Like women, obviously, they have to be more careful of the world, because think about it. Like I heard someone describe this on a podcast. This is someone mentioned what podcast do I listen to. Free Domain Radio is really, really good. It's this guy, philosopher kind of guy, who talks about, honestly, relationships a lot, but not just like male and female relationships, but like familial relationships and society and life and all that stuff. And what he talks about is like, for us guys, it's hard to imagine what it's like to be a woman. But imagine, and you put it like this, imagine you are a girl, right? Imagine you're a person who's been given $1 million, okay? You are a millionaire by birth. You're a millionaire. And that $1 million goes into effect as soon as you're in your late teens, as soon as you turn 18, $1 million in effect. You have it. You are essentially a millionaire, but then you have to carry it on you at all times, wherever you go. You go out to the bar, it's on you. You go to work, it's on you. You go to the gym, it's on you. You are carrying this massive amount of money on you all the time. And then see how people treat you. And that's what it kind of maybe can put into perspective what girls are going through. And if you had $1 million on you all the time that you had to carry everywhere, how paranoid about the world would you be? How paranoid? That's sort of kind of like, and even then that's probably not doing it justice. And so it's just like, that's a tough thing to prepare a girl for. It's just like the world was going to try to take you because that's how they see you. So it's scary, honestly. What's your YouTube? Just came across you tonight. Search Table Moments Podcast on YouTube. It's at Table Moments, but search Table Moments Podcast. Otherwise, you're going to get a bunch of WWE highlights if you just put Table Moments. Do you listen to Rogan? Not anymore. It's been a while since I listened to Rogan. I only ever listen to Rogan for his guests. His guests are more interesting than he is. She'll also play with her hair when you're together. Okay. That's facts. I'd worry a lot less about a boy. Yeah, exactly. What's going on? We're talking about raising boys versus girls. My guy here, Jerry, just became a father to a little girl. So congratulated him, and we started talking about the differences between raising boys versus girls. My girl is 7, and I'm fearful every day about what the world would do to her now and in the future. Yeah, man, that is a tough thing, especially as a father. Oh, man, that's scary, bro. Mine is 5 days old. Yeah, new father here. You mean people like you because of money or looks? Um, all right. This question's a little nuanced. I don't think people actually like you for your. Here's the thing: looks are fleeting, and money can go. So I think people like you for your personality, your virtue. I think is what I would say. Good people tend to like good people. Bad people don't like bad people. They prefer good people, but they treat them poorly. So good people end up kicking those bad people out of their lives. And what good is, I mean, like this is now you're getting into like morality and stuff. I would say religion is a good source for that. The atheists, I don't know. I don't know how they justify where their morality comes from. I think it's largely influenced by religion and they don't want to admit it, but whatever. Oh yeah, it's not easy being a woman. Yeah, no. It's like carrying $1 million everywhere you go. And yeah, it's crazy. You got this, man. Sleep will come later. Congrats. Yeah. When does it get better? LOL. She's sleeping right now between feeding. Yeah. See, I like sleep and I know my girl likes sleep too. So it's just like, I don't know how we're going to deal with that. And we have a dog too who likes to, I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out as we go along. Let's see. Bad people either miss out on good people or they stick around long enough to make good people bad. Ooh, yeah, that could also happen. The corruption of it spreads. Hashtag hurt people hurt people. I could see that for sure. But I think good people don't want to spend any time around people who are bad. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I can stand. Or at least as you get older, you just have less and less patience for it. Steve Harvey, have you been, man? That is honestly the worst insult I've ever received. Mexican Spooter Moon. Spooter Moon, man. Spooter Man. It should have been Spooter Moon, but whatever. So, yeah. Good people want to make bad lives better. And I think that's a trap. You can't save people. And that I've learned that. Oh, man, that's a tough one to learn. That's a tough one to learn. But, yeah. Yeah. So, man, you cannot save people. It's just like, I wouldn't say they're bad though. That's the thing. I wouldn't say they're bad. People who, yeah, bad people. It's just like it's hard to spend time around them because they're eventually going to be bad to you. But for some reason, I think women have a harder time with this because women date bad guys all the time. There's a part of the female spirit that is attracted to that. Weirdly enough, like what do they call it? The dark triad? Narcissism. What is the dark triad? Let me look it up. Dark triad. It's narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. The elements. That's why I like, the fantasy novels women read. It's like 50 Shades of Grey and all that stuff. There's a sort of attraction that women have for that bad boy character. And inevitably, it doesn't end well, but hey, you enjoy it. Can you share about a time you tried to save someone? I haven't had to deal with anything serious where it's like, life and death kind of thing, but like you're trying to bring someone to a better life because you have a vision for it and you want to partner with them to bring them along, but they just can't come along because they're just not made for that kind of path, which sucks. It sucks. Because it's just like, what it could become. And you're like, bro, I can help you out. All you have to do is just put in just a little bit of effort on your side. Just a little bit. Like, for those of you who don't know, this podcast started off as a siblings podcast. That's why you see 4 faces in the corner over there. Now it's just me. Now, like one brother So those are two brothers and one sister. Sister chose to elect. She was the first to leave because she just didn't like the direction we were going. We were going into the relationships and controversial stuff. We've switched that up since then. The other brother, it's like we had a sort of falling out situation because I don't know, it's too much drama to get into. We're fine now, but it's just like, dang, I was trying to build this thing and I was trying to work with him too, but he just didn't see what this could become. Whatever, it is what it is. And then the younger brother is working on his own thing, so it kind of faded out, which, I mean, I'm fine with. It was whatever. And now it's just me. And so now I'm going to have to change the logo. And I've been resisting on changing the logo for the longest time because it kind of sets it in stone that this is final. And it's just... But, because, like, if my brother had stuck with this with me, he would have had the things he said he always wanted. Which, oh, man, it just sucks. It just sucks sometimes. It's coming. Just trust one day you'll look back and forget about all these first couple of weeks lack of sleep. Yeah. Because we think we can change them. Yeah. You can't change them. People are who they are. Even when they say they want things and you're like, oh, I can help you get that, bro. Just do this, do this, do this. I got you. I'll help you out in all these other ways. Nah, you can't do that. You can't do that. People have to want to do it. Women want the bad guy and think they can change them. Here's the funny thing. If they successfully change them, they kind of lose a little bit of attraction to them. I think the ideal is to have small amounts of each of these things: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Small amounts, maybe, but then rooted in some good character. If you can do that, I think you get both. Women don't want that nice guy who's just, they can get everything from, walk all over, anytime he'll jump, whenever she says how high. Women don't like a slave, essentially, and that's what a lot of guys end up becoming. It's weird. I just read the story of Hosea in the Bible and how he was essentially... God commanded him to marry a prostitute, okay, essentially. And she was sleeping around and all that. And essentially he was using this guy's life as a way to show the Israelites how God felt about them and their abandonment of his love and generosity, of God's generosity. And so he personified it through this man by telling him to marry this disloyal woman. And then God explains in the Bible, like, I loved you guys. I gave you everything, and you guys cheated on me with all these other false gods and all that. It's a wild book. It's a wild book, guys. But yeah, let's see. You guys were douches. That's why she left. You weren't female friendly. Okay, I'm female friendly now, but whatever. Women want the bad guy and think they can change them. Yeah. Have a good day. You too. Let me catch up here. You don't want to mess with the nice guy. Yeah, I guess. You're so cute. Thank you, Gemini. Yo, how's it going? I'm pretty good, Curvin. How's it going? If they change them, they lose attraction to them. That's deep and true. Yeah. You sort of have to keep apart yourself. You will change over time through the journey of life, I think, as even this new... what's his name? I want to get your name right. Jerry. As Jerry, he's become a father. Now he's going to look at the world differently because of it. And that just comes with part of it. And it does soften your heart, but you also kind of have to maintain your attraction. Because you kind of have to maintain parts of who you were, because that's what got her in the first place. See, this is what I think ladies don't understand. It's like, you want him to change, but he didn't get you by being this man you want to turn him into. He got you by being who he was. And so it's like, it feels like sabotage, right, fellas? You correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of feels like women are kind of trying to sabotage you. They don't mean to. They don't know that's what they're doing, but they kind of do. And so you kind of have to maintain a part of yourself as you go through this journey with them. And then you see this happen. It's like, oh, this guy who was like confident, he was bold, he was attractive in all the ways that she found him attractive. And then 10 years later, after having a few kids, then he becomes like this frumpy guy. It's just like, and then he's surprised why his wife doesn't want to sleep with him anymore. And it's just like, yeah, man, you kind of have to maintain parts of who you were, because that's what got her in the first place. And you think, ladies, your taste will change. Maybe, but maybe not, I love If they change them, they lose their track. I love that you're reading the Bible and staying strong in your conversion. Yeah. Dealing with sin it's been a challenge for sure. Hi, Boss Mancer. Hope is all is well. Let me catch up with these. All right, I'm just going to read comments right now. We want a man to lead and think for us so we don't have to. So if he's a yes man, he won't be around. Yeah. I heard someone say like if he submits to God, she can submit to him, you know? And so that might be the case, guys. If you submit to God, she can submit to you. Because she knows you have God on your side. Maybe? I don't know. I'm still learning this religion stuff, so take everything I say with a heavy grain of salt. Looking awesome as usual, Boss Man, sir. I appreciate it. Thoughts on Lions fourth down calls? No clue. I don't watch football. Is he your boss or SMT? I don't know what that is. Do you think love is delusion? No. I mean, did you see that Lamar Jackson couldn't save us from Taylor Swift and the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl? I have no clue about football, bro. What are your pronouns? His and hiso. Are you single? No. Are you single? What are your thoughts on lines? You're very rude. What do you mean? Let me catch up with comments here. Now he leveled up in attraction by being a father. I think you have interesting taste, Jordy. Okay? Well, I don't know. I think a lot of women do find that. Yeah, so, you know what? Scratch that. You don't have to compete with who you were when you get better. Just don't jump into the dad bod before the baby. LMAO. I'm not sure. Because the dad bod will come if you don't prioritize at least keeping up with your routines. Going on those long walks, going to the gym, cardio, all that stuff. Watching what you eat. Yes, as you get older, it gets harder and harder for some people. It's just like, you just got to be careful. I'm not sure what you mean by lines. Hiroki. My wife and I wouldn't be together if not for God. Yeah. Which God? The God, Canted. The God. You're rude. Do you want to go, bro? Do you have a... All right, I prayed to God of Abraham and he answered my prayers. The God is Allah. You know, it is interesting. Like, Muslims believe that it's the same God. As far as I understand, like, I mean, I grew up Muslim, so I should know this. But yeah, Allah and the God that of Abraham and Christianity are the same God. But I've been reading the Bible. No, they're different gods. They're different gods. They're definitely different gods. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, the God... Well, here's the thing. Even it sounds like reading the Old Testament and the New Testament, they seem like different gods. They seem like different gods, but they're not. You know? I still haven't squared that up yet. So this isn't a Bible study. Like, maybe it'd be cool to run... No. I can't lead. In fact, I'm not allowed to lead. According to Scripture, I'm not allowed to. I'm a recent convert. Show us that black pencil. I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, Christians believe they're different. God, in my reality, eternally condemned me. He raised me and I betrayed him. God forgives though. And he loves you. Still. So, what made me convert? I had a spiritual experience. I felt the Holy Spirit. Essentially. Here's the thing. I had been thinking about Christianity for the longest time. I exposed myself to a lot of like that kind of stuff, but then I had it. I felt it. And I was like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. It's weird. It just came out of nowhere too. How are they different gods? Just in character, you realize it's not the same attitude in a lot of, like, Allah is more of it's separate. It's sort of like above and separate, whereas who will judge you? who will judge you, which I guess is true for Christianity in the technical sense, but in reality, like Jesus paid for our sins, so it's a different thing. It's a different thing. It's hard to describe, and I don't feel comfortable. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable talking about it because I feel like I should know more. But they seem like different gods to me, at least in vibe. Let's just say that. Name an anime for an edit. Attack on Titan. There you go. Or what's that one Shield Hero one? I saw a little bit about that. I did the worst anyone could ever do. He's very real. He made me a god. They took away everything. Okay. Are you going back to religion? What do you mean? Oh, because I left? I guess. I mean, as I get older, I realize I actually even thought about this the other day. Like when I was in my early 20s, going to college, 20 years old, I had these engineering professors. I studied engineering. And, some of my professors were religious and they would pray. They would pray. I'd catch them. Like one of them was Muslim. He would go pray. And I was just like, doesn't he know? Like science. This is when, like a lot of young people worshiping science as your religion, which a lot of people don't admit that's what they're doing, but that's what they're doing. And I was in that trap too. And then as I gotten older, I realized like none of this makes any sense without a God. And realize all this is meaningless. I just read Ecclesiastes. And basically it's King Solomon talking about how he had everything anyone would ever want. The most prosperous man to have ever existed, possibly. And realized it all, he came down to the conclusion that life is meaningless unless you have faith in God. That's the only thing you can do. The man who had everything realized it was all pointless. And so, yeah, it's just one of those things. Whatever. Are you attending Mass? Catholic? Is that what Mass refers to? I go to church, if that's what you mean. It's fine if not attending Mass. A new convert is a long road. I've been going to, I think a non-denominational one, maybe. I don't even know how they would classify themselves. This is my last life. Then it's on to my hell loop where God's love don't exist. God bless you. Peace. Oh man, that's tough to hear. Are you leaning towards Christianity, Islam, or something else? Christianity right now. That's beautiful. Amen. Yeah. That's not, it works. God loves you, man. Jesus died for anything you did. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you can convince him of that right now, but dude, yeah, that's not. The other religions, I think, would classify what he just said as true, but I don't know. Christianity does not see it that way. Yeah, going to church is Mass. Basically, I'm Catholic and don't know if other people call it Mass or not. Yeah, I don't know if they call it Mass, but yeah, I've been going. So, yeah, it's been an interesting journey. And, the Bible, even if you're not religious, the Bible is a really interesting read. I even read Song of Songs. Like, basically it's like soft core. Corn, as they say. It's in the Bible. It's just like, all right, cool. It's like, but basically it describes love, okay, between two lovers, but in a romantic and spiritual sense. But it has some funny compliments in there. Song of Solomon. They called it Song of Songs. That's what I'm pretty sure it was called Song of Songs in the Bible. Song of Songs. Yeah, that's what it's called. Song of Songs is one of the overly mystical Bible texts. I don't know. It's written by Solomon, I think. Song of Solomon. Is that different from Song of Songs? I don't know. It said Song of Songs in the chapter, so that's what I know. I'm ready to end it all tonight. Please don't say that, man. What do you mean, end it all? It is, yeah. It's a great trilogy, Torah, Bible, Quran. Yeah, could be. It'd be interesting to read the other books too. I'm confused about the Torah. Is that just the Old Testament? I'm not, because it's like, I don't know. What is the Torah? Maybe ending it would be best. Ending what? I know it's not what you're saying. It can't be what you're saying. This chat got dark quickly. Yeah, it did, bro. I don't know what's going on here. Song of Solomon, not songs. Oh, the Song of Songs is an erotic poem within the Songs of Solomon. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm still confused about. This is, I think, the next thing I have to figure out, like why certain things in the Bible are in the Bible, like how they were able to compile all these things and consider it the word, you know? Because it's like some of the stuff is just like, who is this written by, and why is it in here? But I mean, if it's still useful, it's still useful. So I don't know. It's like this is the difference, like especially with like the Quran and the Bible. Like the Quran is, I remember growing up, they were telling you, like, you know, it hasn't been edited, and it's literally the word from as passed through Muhammad and all that stuff, which is weird because it was like written well after his death. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's not accurate, because things were just orally communicated before the oral tradition. So, and which was also true apparently for the Bible as well. And so it's like the Bible doesn't, and then obviously one of the things the Quran, one of the points it tries to make is that it is unedited. It has never been changed throughout time, whatever, all that stuff. And whereas the Bible has all these different translations and stuff. But the Bible has never claimed to be like this accurate by word, but accurate in spirit. So at least that's what I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. Indeed, not at all. No, man, it's not. Reach out if you need a chat. That's never the answer. Agreed. Give the guy mental health resources. Sounds like he needs help. If he's serious, he probably needs attention. If he's not, he's sick. I'm seeing a lot of emojis after he makes these dark statements. So that's why I'm thinking like maybe it's not. But yeah. I'm glad all of you guys are really on this though. Like laughing emojis, tongue out emojis when you say maybe ending it would be best. That's why I asked, like, what is he referring to? It's a little confusing for me. Hey, Cohen, how's it going? Basketball number 6, Timberline. Timberline, is that your team? Just a reminder that Messi is the GOAT. Yeah, why'd you change your name, Asher? Kanye's version. I didn't like Asher Roth, kind of. This is the only Asher I've ever known. So, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? We don't have to get into the religion stuff. I like the religion stuff. I just don't feel knowledgeable enough to give you guys any. I can give you my thoughts on it as a person who's new to all of this. But it is interesting. Oh yeah, Asher isn't a popular name. Yeah. So the Bible's interesting. That's what I would say. It's worth reading, I think, for anyone who's interested in just because there's a lot of wisdom in there beyond. I mean, I guess you don't have to be religious to read it. It is kind of hard to read sometimes, which I think the certain translations are more useful for that. I changed because I was bored. Oh, okay. Fair enough. You ever looked into the lost books of Adam and Eve's banished son? You mean Cain and Abel? Cain? I haven't. Lost books? I don't know. Would you ever read the Satanic Bible? Nah, probably not. I feel like that's, I don't know. Maybe if I'm curious just to explore what it could be saying, but I don't know. With the title like Satanic Bible, I don't know. I would read what C.S. Lewis. It was actually the preacher talked about it in today's sermon, where C.S. Lewis, the Screw Tape Letters, the Screw Tape Letters, a novel. I might read the Screw Tape Letters. Essentially, A novel by C.S. Lewis dedicated to J.R.R. Tolkien. It is written in a satirical epistolary style, and while it's fictional in format, the plot and characters used to address Christian theological issues, primarily those to do with temptation and resistance to it. I think essentially it takes like, let's see, plot overview. Essentially, it makes the case, I think, for 31 letters written by a senior demon named Screwtape to his nephew Wormwood, a younger and less experienced demon charged with guiding a man called the patient towards the Father below, Satan, and away from the enemy, God. So it frames God as the enemy and our Father as Satan. And I think it's an interesting, I don't know. I have to look into it. I might read that. So, Kane, happy Sunday. What's the subject, may I ask? We're talking about biblical stuff right now. Do you see yourself still holding on to some Muslim traditions even though you're converted? Yeah, I already do. Like, I feel some type of way about wearing gold. In Islam, men aren't allowed to wear gold. So even I've been having conversations with my fiance about what my ring could look like. And I don't know if I can do the gold thing. But then here's the thing. Does that mean I'm still embracing some of that past? And if I'm really going to lean into this Christianity stuff, I have to give it all up, including the inconsequential stuff like not wearing gold and all that stuff. So, but man, I don't know. But I was thinking like a titanium wedding band might be cool. Thinner though. People get thicker rings now. I think thinner was like classic. I was just watching First Man. It's a movie about Neil Armstrong, played by Ryan Gosling, going to the moon. And all the men in there have thin bands because that's thin and classic. And I was just like, yo, that's kind of cool. That's kind of, it's modest, but it's also shiny. So I think that'd be cool. It's basically detailing the accounts of what happened after Cain's banishment and him finding a demo. A demon village. It was destroyed in the pilgrimages. I don't know if I feel like I'm not saying that word right. Of the Middle Ages, and only scraps have been found. Okay, maybe be interesting. Let's see. I'll Google it. Books of Adam. Books of Cain. Books of Cain. Oh no, this is Diablo. Never mind. I don't know. The screw tape letters might be cool though. I think it'd be really cool to read. So, Yurt, what's up? What do you think hanging onto the gold feelings mean? What is the aversion to gold in Islam? The way I remember it was like, it's feminine. It's feminine. So women can dress up in lavish whatever, but men aren't supposed to be feminine in nature, I think. Let me double check. Why Muslim men can't wear gold. Why is gold haram? This is Reddit, so I don't know. Only men wearing as an accessory gold are haram. Women can use it as an accessory, and gold can be used for anything really. The principal reason is that Allah commanded it through our Prophet, peace be upon him, so we'll hear and obey because that is part of worship. Oh, okay. But if there are other reasons that were not revealed to us, then if I were to say it's because of this or that, it would be theorizing. And yeah, so maybe it's just because it was the word, I think. So maybe I should learn to accept to wear gold, but I don't wear jewelry like that either, so I don't know what the deal is. So my girl likes pink gold, and you know how girls want to just match everything, fellas, and her ring is pink gold. So I don't know if pink gold would look. That's not a flex. That's not a flex. I don't remember what it was called. I don't need people asking me like who my partner is, okay? And with a pink gold ring, I think people will assume that. I don't remember what it was called, but it was super interesting. I was super interested and read a lot about it a few years ago. Okay. Girl asked me about the story of my doll. Couldn't stop crying in the bathroom after I told her. I'm not sure about that, bro. That's correct from what I remember. Oh, so you heard that too? Maybe that was just a reasoning people came up with, Muslims came up with, but if the Prophet said so, then that's just how it goes, you know? So, why can't Muslim wear gold? And pure silk are forbidden for men. Why? Scholars come up with reasons, though. Beautification and elegance are not merely permitted but are required by Islam, and in general it repudiates any attempt to prohibit them. Almighty Allah says, "Say, who has forbidden the adornment of Allah which He has brought forth?" No, I think they're just making the case. Islam, however, permitted two kinds of adornment for men while permitting them for women. These are first gold ornaments and second clothing made of pure silk. Ali reported that Prophet, peace be upon him, took some silk in his right hand and some gold in his left hand, declaring, "These two are haram for the males among my followers." So I guess that's it. Omar reported that he heard the Prophet say, "Do not wear silk, for those who wear it in this life shall not wear it in the afterlife." So I think it's just by commandment. Whatever. Let's see. That's correct from what I remember. None of my brothers wear gold, but I have a couple of nephews that wear it. My brothers don't like it. Yeah. Muslim men feel that. Maybe I should just wear it as like a confirmation of my conversion. You know, like a gold Jesus piece. Yo, my family would trip. Here's the funny thing: my dad watches these live streams, so surprise, Dad. I came out of I don't know how you would call it. I don't know. I don't think you'd have a problem with it, but maybe they will. I mean, like, that's the thing when it comes to Islam and Christianity. They feel some type of way about it. So I think my family will be cool, at least most of the people in my family, but this is just an assumption. I don't know how my friends are going to be because they're all Muslim too. So I don't know. I think this is the thing non-Muslims or Christians don't understand about a Muslim converting to Christianity. Like the social cost that comes with becoming a Christian when you were formerly a Muslim. It's a heavy price. You lose everybody, everyone you grew up with, all the people you prayed with, all the people essentially, if most of them are Muslim. Or especially if you grew up in an immigrant family who are all Muslims. Yeah, man, like, it's a no-go. That's why it's just like, I heard someone say, like, Muslims become the best converts for Christianity because they pay a heavy price for it. And so they have to really believe it in order to convert. And so, yeah, that's what happened to Nabil Qureshi. If you guys don't know, he's a guy. He's no longer with us, but all right, let me catch up with the comments here. I'm not sure, but I think in the Bible, gold represented kingship, at least a gift to Jesus. It's an interesting contrast. Very interesting. Very interesting. Thank you for that, Jordy. What fashion trend have you personally embraced or found yourself drawn to recently? I've been drawn to a very thin wallet. A very thin wallet. That's what I've been drawn to. It's a plug for my own wallet. I make these. But Jesus friend, thanks for the question. The doll has a deep meaning to me, and it's given to me by my ex that I'm still not over. Eesh, that sucks. Oh, that's what you should do. A Christian closet. I don't know. It sounds weird saying it that way. Don't do it. Let them on easy. I can't. My dad watches these. My dad's going to watch this on YouTube tomorrow. Or maybe he's watching right now. Maybe he's one of the people watching on YouTube. He could be. Here's the thing. I think he knows. If he's been watching the live streams, he should know. But, I mean, yeah. Surprise, I guess. I don't know. That's the cost for Christ, no? For eternal salvation. Are you Christian? Favorite Halloween movie? Perhaps tell them about the wallet. They should know about the wallet too. But no. Here's the thing, like, apostates, people who leave Islam, Muslims are permitted to kill them. Unfortunately, that is the thing. And, I got a chance to interview someone who was formerly a Jehovah's Witness, and he talked about on the podcast like how his entire family disowned him, and he no longer has a connection. He even described how his father described like it wouldn't matter if he left the religion, but it did eventually because everyone else decided to excommunicate him essentially. So even his dad, who originally said it would have been fine, no longer speaks to him. And that could very well be the case for this. And so it's just like, it's a heavy price to pay for a Muslim, particularly, to leave their religion. Different from other people leaving their religions, I think. Maybe there are some other religions out here who are that extreme, but Islam's pretty extreme about it. So it's like, that's why yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I think I'm in a lucky situation where I don't think my family will feel yeah, maybe they'll feel some type of way, but they're not, I don't think they're going to disown me or anything like that. My brother's cool. I mean, they'll be fine. My sister, I don't think is going to care one way or the other. My dad, I don't know, he might feel some type of way, but he might not. He's kind of like laid back too, because he's like, it's your life, you know? And I think they would prefer me having God in my life than no God at all. So it's better than atheism, maybe. And then now the question is like all the people I grew up with, how they're going to feel. And that could probably be more extreme. But it is what it is. I just got to tell them, Christianity has the better God. So I feel like I could joke about it. I'm not sure. Wait, let's see. Oh no, I read that comment already. Perhaps tell them about the wallet. Yeah. Table's dad, let's chat about the Bible and reservations you have. No, he's a pretty devout Muslim. I don't think he has reservations, because like even my fiance is not of the culture or anything, and I don't know, he's kind of laid back about it all, so it's cool. You are a bitter Baltimore Ravens football fan, Lamb? I don't know what that is or why you're bringing up football. Lamar Jackson? Oh, okay. What's been the biggest changes in your daily life since converting, and how has it affected you? Reading the Bible a lot. Realizing what Christians meant by Holy Spirit, and that it's the feeling and the connection with God you can have. Because that's not a thing that Muslims believe, that you can have that sort of personal relationship with God, which is... it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for Muslims because like you guys don't get to have that personal relationship with God like Christians do. At least Christians who believe it in that way. So that's cool. But then at the same time, it's just like sin. When you do engage in sin, it feels worse because God's watching. He's there, just disappointed in you. And just after reading the book of Hosea and how God felt about the Israelites and their worship of false idols and how God feels when we sin. It's just like, dang, I'm making him feel that way. You don't want to do it anymore. But then you still have your failures. So it's just like, man, accepting. So on the one hand, you get to have a personal relationship with God. On the other hand, you realize how flawed you are and how sinful you are. And so you have to live with that fact. So I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? Well, like, what's it been like for you guys, if you are Christian? My mother was Christian and never converted. My dad's friends did not accept it, which is funny because, like, they should have, at least according to the Quran, they should accept that she's Christian because that's a permissible marriage. Or then don't forget you'll always have football. Football? I don't know. Guess my name, not going to my bio. I don't know what your name is. And how has converting to a new faith shaped your sense of purpose and life's meaning? I think it's given life meaning, in the sense like, at least related to Ecclesiastes, like that's what gives life meaning, according to Solomon. Like the stuff of the world is pointless, and so I always knew that. I think a part of me always knew that the stuff of this world just did not make any sense, and why is everyone chasing all this like worldly stuff? But now it makes way more sense to me. I'm just like, oh, we're not of this world. We're just in it. It's just like, oh, okay. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. And so it kind of frees you up a little bit too, because you realize, oh, this is all just BS. All this stuff does not matter. All the things people are hungry for, chasing after, the things, the status, the prestige, the money, none of that stuff matters. None of it matters. And so it's like the only thing that matters is that relationship with God. And it's a simple, it's, I don't know, I've found some peace from it, which because of it, I've become less angry. I'm not angry anymore. At least, I mean, maybe I have my moments, but even before I had that spiritual experience, you can even see it in my content. Before, it was just like aggressive and like bitter and angry about the world, which justifiably you would be, because you're like, why does everything have to be this way? You know, like, why are people so obsessed with all these things that don't matter? Why do people reward liars and cheaters? Why do people treat each other this way? And do the rest of us tolerate the way things are, as corrupt as they are? And then reading the Bible just gives you the answers. Like, this is how the world was always going to be. That's prophecy, guys. Like, because you're not for this world. This is a sinful world. And it's just like, oh, so I can't change it. I can't change it. It's not in my control. It's like, oh, okay, cool. And then now I can smile about it. So that's what happened. So yeah, man, it's been pretty awesome. Why not? Who said Muslims can't have personal connection? You can in your dreams, technically, but here's the way, like, Christians have like an intimate relationship with God. Like, for Muslims, it's like above, I don't know. It's a different thing. I don't have the words to describe it, but once I do, maybe I can come back and explain it in another live stream. But why not? The Holy Spirit will move when it's there. One thing I'm scared about is that I'm idolizing these pop icons and sports players more than God, like Messi, Kanye, and Kendrick. Yeah, definitely. I can see that being a pitfall for a lot of people. I don't think there's anything wrong with appreciating accomplishment, but at the same time, it's sports and music, you know? It's just like, and then, you know, I don't know. That's, I guess, your journey, and I don't know if I can give anything because I'm not into that kind of stuff like that. So I would just be speculating on my part. I think that feeling of being sinful is what Christ intended, because it makes you recognize that Christ is our Savior. Yeah. Like, I don't know, Asher, you might like this guy. He's on TikTok. It's _war, WAR_within. And honestly, I've never heard anyone communicate the ideas of Christianity and the Bible better, as good, and in that way like he does. And they're long TikToks too, like 10 minutes. But man, the other night I was just watching a bunch of them, and then you just sparked all these like ideas and curiosity that I ended up like going and reading verses and reading books and chapters in the Bible. And I was just like, yo, man, he has a way of communicating. And also keeping it real too, apparently, which I think, I don't know if this is actually true, but I'm having a sense that maybe a lot of Christians don't want to keep it as real as the Bible communicates it. You know, there's things in the Bible people are not going to like. They're not going to like. Even Christians don't like, okay? And it's just like, it's the word, man. I thought that was the point. You follow it. But we'll see how that goes. Without him, we'd be nothing, and he saved us. He came down from heaven and died for us in our sinful ways. Yeah. I listened to a preacher who was explaining like why Jesus had to go through those 40 days, that journey through the forest. And the two words he explained were, the two words were empathy and example. Empathy and example. Because in that journey, he was tempted by the devil. He was tempted in all these worldly ways. But the reason he had to go through it was so that he can empathize. By having gone through it, he knows what it's like to be us. And so it's a God who knows our experience, because he came here and experienced it himself. and was tempted, just the way we all are. But then the second word, example, as in, despite the temptation, he did not succumb. And so that is the example for us on how to live. And man, there's a lot of beautiful stuff in the Bible, guys. It's crazy. And especially when people can explain it, it's beautiful. The most motivational thing for me is that feeling of being with God on earth is not even close to what we'll experience in heaven. Yeah. In heaven, it will feel like we are one with everyone who's ever lived, including Christ and God. Yeah. Wait, this will be your first Ramadan as a Christian? Are you going to miss it? I haven't fasted in years, so I was always in this journey. Because here's the thing, the first step for me was like not actually practicing as a Muslim. I think it was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago I stopped fasting because I realized like I didn't pray 5 times a day. I didn't go to the masjid or anything like that. So it's just like, who am I doing this for? It's all just for show. And so I stopped practicing as a Muslim. So essentially I became agnostic at some point. So it's not like I transitioned from Islam to Christianity. It's more like I fell away from Islam and then had to accept that I'm not practicing as a Muslim. So how can I call myself one? So even then, I don't even like calling myself like I was a Muslim. I wasn't praying 5 times a day. I wasn't fasting Ramadan or anything like that. So it's like, yeah, so it's not my first Ramadan. It will technically, I guess, be my first Ramadan as a Christian, but I didn't even practice fasting, so it's not really a thing for me. Although, will be participating in this 40-day fast soon, in like a couple weeks. So I guess leading up to Easter. So traded one fasting for another. Although this one, I guess I can choose what I want to fast from. I think food, but I think I'm going to continue hydrating though. The water thing is a tough one. You got to give Muslims respect on the fasting stuff. That is a hard thing to do. You adorable, you cute, and you eat cutie loops for breakfast. That's why never mind. Okay. Haven't heard of him. I'll check him out. The War Within is his name. Yeah, _war_within. Yeah, that's his name. And you'll see him. And the first video I saw was when he was explaining what Solomon had wrote and how the flaws of prosperity gospel. So there's this certain Christians like to point out, like, you know, if you live a good life or you pray, whatever you pray to God and you live as a good Christian, you will have a good life here. But that's not the promise Jesus makes. That's not the promise. But when you read Proverbs, you get that idea that that's possibly what it could be. But it's like, it's a two-part. But a lot of these prosperity pushers never read Ecclesiastes, the second half of that. Or not the second half, just the other side of that. So Proverbs is aspirational and hopeful, and then Ecclesiastes gives you the reality. And I saw one of his videos that explained the differences and how these people just completely get it wrong because they never bother to quote anything from Ecclesiastes, which makes the point that life is meaningless without God, and that you can have everything in the world and still be miserable, which is what Solomon ended up experiencing. Love hearing about your faith journey, bro. Oh, damn. Thanks, man. Man, I don't know. I feel it feels personal, but at the same time, if I can be open about it, I guess. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant to even continue talking about it because I feel like I don't know enough, and I'm just sharing what I learned. Please correct me, guys. If I get anything wrong, please correct me. All right? I'm still new at this, and I shouldn't be preaching the gospel either. According to the Bible, I can't. Or maybe not preach it, but I definitely can't take leadership positions. Recent converts are prohibited from doing that. Not that I guess I flirted with the idea of like, man, I might have to start my own church if I can't find a good one. But it turns out I can't. So that makes it easy. But I did find one. I found a good one. So, or a decent one actually. So, exactly. Praise Jesus. That's a That's the perfection of Christ. That's the perfection of Christ. How He can be one with us. Yo. Another thing I fear that we worship the pictures of Christ too much or statues when we pray. Yeah, even when I pray, I don't even like using the word the name Jesus. Like, but here's the thing. Maybe I should. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Cause like for me, it's hard. It's harder considering like my experience has been uh, Islam and stuff. So I don't know. I like using Lord instead. Father is interesting too. Let me catch up with these. Another thing I fear. All right, that's just Catholic thing though, as there is a lot of murals and statues in Catholic Church. Oh, you're Catholic. Oh man. All right, you might not like the war within then. He goes hard against Catholicism, bro. He does. Never mind, man. Unless you're ready to have your beliefs about Catholicism challenged, I would stay away from the guy. Hey, you got the same name as me? Oh, look, two Ashers. Religion is my favorite thing we ever talked about. That's another thing too. Jesus didn't exist until the 14th century, so Jesus couldn't have been his name. No, it's fine. Just thinking about converting. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. All right, let me catch up with these YouTube comments. You used to blush and dismiss people telling you're cute. Now you blush and dismiss people giving you compliments on engagement with faith. Oh, babe. I just don't take compliments well. You know that, Jordy. You know that. You should know that. I don't know. I just don't take compliments well. It's enough. I don't know. What you want me to? You want me to be like, oh, thank you guys. I so appreciate you recognizing. It's like, what? That's not me. I'm humble. You don't have to preach, but it's important to share what's happening in your life. A lot of us are hungry for something more than what we've been getting. Fair enough. That's a good point. I don't know. That's the thing. I'm even careful. I've been thinking about like the direction this could go because this is all new for me, so it's fresh on the top of my mind, and so I'm talking about it a lot. But I'm also worried that maybe because it's all new for me, I'm maybe making it bigger than, I don't know if it's bigger than it is, but like maybe not doing justice like because I don't know enough to know what I don't know. And so it's just like maybe I'm just talking and there's all these things that I don't understand. Like even for the longest time, I didn't know the Old Testament and New Testament were the same book. I didn't even know it was all the Bible. Like Muslims, by the way, if you're a Muslim, Old Testament and New Testament is one book. It's the Bible together. To me, I like I explained it to my girl. I'm like, wait, so how's that different? How are the Old Testament and New Testament different? And she's like, what are you talking about? It's the same thing. It's one book. There's so much I don't know. So just say thanks, man. Say you're always looking to learn or happy to share your knowledge with this as much as with anything else. Yeah, that's a good, yeah. That's what I learned to do with the looks thing. I'm not going to just figure it out right away. So thanks. Don't share from a place of knowing, share from a place of learning. Fair enough. Yeah, that's good advice for anything, really. So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. Yeah. Here's a funny thing. Like, as Muslims, we would always pray before we eat, and then, stopped practicing as a Muslim. So I didn't really do that. And now I've started it again, except now, 1 Corinthians 10:31. What is that? I started praying now. Like anytime before I eat, I do. Corinthians. I'll read it for you guys. My girl does this too. She sends me like these verses, Corinthians 10:31, and then I always have to look it up. I'm like, why don't you just send me the link to Bible Gateway? So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God. Oh, okay, got it. You were doing that. Thank you for that. But for her, she appreciates it because then it gives her a reason to open up the Bible. So that's good for her. Let me catch up with these. Religion, his name. That's another thing. Didn't exist until, okay. No, I'm thinking about converting. Okay. Because I already don't agree with a lot of the stuff inside of Catholicism, but I still do. agree with some. He's still blushing. It might be the lighting. Nice to see you here, Owling. So I think I might be non-denominational. Oh, hey, that's rare. Hey, Jordy. So, Jordy, Owling says hi. Owling says hi. She's on YouTube, by the way. Asher, what religion are we talking about? Christianity. We're talking about Christianity. Like, I agree with purgatory and stuff, but not Mary and the saints being interceptors who pray for us. Yeah, he goes pretty hard against Catholicism in his videos. He's like, they're heretics, essentially. Yo, he goes so hard. He's like, you guys have replaced Jesus and God with all these figures who are not God. So, yeah, he goes pretty hard against it. I don't know if you're ready for that, but it's the first half and the last half. Christianity as a whole and his journey as a Muslim turned to Christian. Yeah. He converted. Why? What? Is it? Please. It's his calling. Oh, he's found a lot of peace in it. I haven't been baptized yet, so I don't know if it's officially converted until that happens. But tell Ellen she missed her debut last week. She has to make it up. Oh yeah, you were about to come on, right? you wanted to come on. My bad. I was just like in the conversation with Jose. It was hard to keep up with the comments at the same time because we were just talking. Because Jose is cool. Also, I'm scared about taking confirmation where they basically mark you as a Catholic forever, which reminds me about the mark of the serpent, which Christ earns about. So I'm scared about that and my parents forcing me to do it. Eesh. Okay. Meaning faith doesn't have to be some grand presentation, but seeking to glorify God is everything in how we treat our family, how we treat our body, how we make content to the glory of God. I like that. That's a really good, that makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, like even when I'm in the gym, I realize like this is a vessel of God. Like I should treat it with care and respect, And I don't know. Everything makes so much more sense when you have God in your life because none of this world makes sense without it. First wife, then God. You had a big year, LOL. It was a crazy 2023, guys. And guess what? 2023 was the year I was 33. If you know, you know. I guess he who finds a wife finds a good thing after all. LOL. Off topic, why don't you guys do more 4-man podcasts here on YouTube? What do you mean? So like how I used to with, could you explain a little more? 4-man podcast? Could be interesting. I'd have to get, I've noticed like 4 people are about the most you can have for a podcast. After that, the voices, there's just too much over talking, without it being a structured conversation. But I don't know. I mean, if there are people who want to be on camera who can accept that, then I wouldn't be. Here's the thing. I like recording it and then editing them because I think a lot of podcasts, especially the lives, I think they're not that good without some editing. So we could easily just show up on a StreamYard recording and then I would record it and then I'll edit it and then I share it with all the people that I interviewed that were part of it, and that's how the podcast, and then it gets published. So if there are people down, if you guys are down too, to be on camera and stuff, let me know. I could totally do that. Let's see. I guess I like the Quran better, but it's really strict. The Bible's pretty strict too. Yes, it's stricter from what I've heard. I haven't learned a lot about it though. I will come on whenever really with a topic. It would be cool to like do a part 2 of like the Ethiopian experience. And like, remember when you came on the podcast, Owling, and we were talking about Ethiopian women getting with Western men who visit Ethiopia? Sort of like mail order brides, you know how they used to do that? Or like passport bros, But instead, like we essentially talked about how Ethiopian women could be like a great destination for passport bros, Ethiopia. And look up pictures of what Ethiopian women look like, especially for black men. I think they'd really enjoy it. So I think your beard is getting thicker. You're about to look like you're straight out of the Old Testament. LMAO. I should trim it. I should trim it. I don't know. I think I adjusted the lighting and stuff and settings on the camera, so hopefully it looks better now. We'll be in touch for sure, man. Yeah, just DM me on Instagram, table.moments, or TikTok, table moments pod, uh, or Twitch, I guess, if you're, or no, you're on YouTube. I don't know if there's a way to actually do that through YouTube. So 2024 is going to be everyone's best year or worst year. I'm calling it. Facts. Depends on who wins the election, maybe. People in purgatory, because heaven is for perfect people, but we're not perfect. We can't possibly be, because of original sin, and more only God is perfect. So purgatory seems like, for me, a place for people to get rid of their original sin. Oh, so it's like an intermediary space for people to, before they transition to heaven, maybe workers of the world unite. Okay. But it is interesting. Like, the war within explains like Christianity in a way I've never heard it described before. Now, I can't confirm if any of that stuff is true, but I've been exploring a lot, and like one of his central messages is like Christianity, like it's about a relationship with God. It's not, which you are building a relationship with God, and which I think is different than like with Muslims, but I still have a lot to learn. But I mean, the story of Hosea and the Israelites and how God felt, it does seem like it's a relationship. You're building a relationship with God, like as if he were a person. Yeah, God is with each one of us. Yeah, that's what I think. It makes sense. It makes sense saying it that way. But did you just say black men would like Ethiopian women? Is that like saying white women would like French women? No, I don't think so. I'm just saying, like, a lot of black dudes are into this whole passport bro thing, right? Or like you see this on social media sometimes. And I think people are sleeping on East Africa as a source of passport broship, you know? That's what I'm thinking. So it's like people really like the Ethiopian, Eritrean, Habesha look. For me, they just look like my cousins. So, whatever. You know? But yeah, I mean, like, they want something different. Mixing old school with new school. He had a deep relationship with each one of us because he loves each one of us so much. He wants us. Yeah. Oh, man. It's been 2 hours, 27 minutes. Eesh. Wow. Hey, Nathaniel. How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, do you guys have anything you guys want to talk about? I mean, we can continue this religion stuff if you guys would like. I don't know. I don't know if I have much more to say other than like some of the stuff I've been reading. Yeah, so this week has just been Ecclesiastes. Baba Isu? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Did you see Kanye is releasing 3 albums in 3 months? Is he? Or is that one of those things he's just saying to get a headline and he's not actually going to do it? What's Baba Isu? Baba Isu. I don't know. Talk about the Old Testament if you know anything about it. Here's the thing. The War Within was explaining like the Old Testament and the New. What he was explaining. This is the stuff that I thought was pretty interesting. I cannot confirm any of this stuff. This is why it'd be cool if you check it out. Asher, The War Within, and let me know how it lines up with your knowledge of Christianity, or at least maybe Catholicism, maybe. Although he does rail on it pretty hard. But he was explaining how the Old Testament and the New Testament are mirror images of each other. Old Testament's focused on the body and the flesh, and the New Testament's focused on the spirit. And there's parallels. There's parallels, like Noah and Jesus. And was it Noah and Jesus? Like I don't know. Like I have to. Was it knowing Jesus? Like two sides. I don't know. I don't know. Right. I think I'm a little over my skis right now. But essentially, what he's explaining is like they're mirror images of each other, but one's focused on the world and the other one's focused on the spirit. And essentially, they're like mirror images of each other, except focused on either side of this. Also, his take on the curse of Genesis 3. Let me Genesis 3, the fall. I think the fall. And how we're all doomed to repeat it. I thought it was hilarious. I sent it to my girl. He was basically explaining like how all women are essentially doomed to ruin the men they're with because it's the curse of Eve. It's like no wonder it's like the only way you can avoid this curse is by living as God commands, submitting to God. When both. Because she can't submit to you unless you submit to God, which is the commandment or the commands in the Bible. And so I thought that was an interesting take. I was just like, yo, this is why relationships between men and women don't work, because they've been cursed since the beginning. And then you start seeing it and you're just like, what always leads men into ruin? Women. It's always women. It's just like, yo, that's hilarious, bro. Hey, it's big boy. So that's the Old Testament stuff. I thought it was hilarious. But then also tragic because it's like she can't help herself unless, whatever. It might be, but he has made graphs for all 3 albums. Okay. Baba ECS? Oh, come on, don't do that. Have you ever heard of that before? I was joking though. No, I have never heard anyone refer to him as Baba. Keep it up, bro. We need more people like you. Love talking about cross references. Oh, okay. But here's the thing. I'm just taking it from the War Within. So check him out. He's on TikTok. I think he recently blew up, but man, he dropping gems with nearly every video. It's crazy. And they're long videos, but they keep you. Old Testament and New Testament are different a lot, yet similar, mostly different. A priest Catholic only stuff. That explains a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Old Testament is Jesus concealed. New Testament is Jesus revealed. Yeah. Basically on that thread, essentially. Pretty much. Yo, what's up, Kirk? Kirko, what's good, bro? What's good? So, yeah, it's just funny. Genesis 3. We're all paying for the curse of Genesis 3. And then it's just like, oh, it's easy to be mad at women and just realize, no, it's the curse, guys. They can't help themselves. And so, yeah, now we were talking about relationships, but like, it's also hilarious. I think it's funny. I think it's really funny because it's like, here's the funny thing. Eve sabotaged Adam, but it's Adam's fault for listening. It's Adam's fault. So this is the thing I think a lot of guys don't want to accept. Like, yeah, she might have ruined you, but it's your fault for letting her. It's your fault for letting her. And so, hey, learn to live with it, I guess. And then if you follow God and she follows God, she can follow you. And that's the only way you can avoid this curse. And so, like, whatever. I think it's hilarious. Yo. Yeah, it's nice to see you here, Kirko. How have you been? How's school been? He just prophesied about throughout the Old Testament, which is really cool when you read it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the War Within actually explains a lot of that stuff. He's like, look, he was prophesying all this stuff in the Old Testament that was revealed in the New Testament. And so it's just like, then he comes in the New Testament, yeah. Do y'all have priests in non-Catholic churches? I don't know if they're called priests. I don't know what the terminology is. If they're preachers or pastors, I think might be the word instead. How do your parents feel about converting? We haven't had that conversation. So I don't know. But my dad watches these live streams, so he should know that I'm headed in that direction. I haven't been baptized yet, but it could happen. I don't know when it would. Wonder if you'd find a married guy who has the same interpretation. Maybe. Novel interpretation isn't typically a good sign. I don't know if it's novel. It's just it fits is the thing. That's the thing I find hilarious about it because it's like, oh, and it's easy to accept. It's easy to accept. No, pretty much just pastors and deacons. Yeah, it's been cool. I secured the internship. Oh, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah. Right now we're talking about like the Bible and Christianity and stuff like that. Which I have live privileges on my other account, which maybe I can talk about tech on that one. Maybe I should just do that. Maybe an hour. I can maybe commit to an hour a day or every other day. But I haven't been working on tech lately. I've been working on product design. Oh, Kirk, I released these wallets in the meantime. These thin front pocket wallets design. So, oh, and not only just blue, but got other colors too. Thin front pocket wallets. Sold a handful of these already. So it's cool. The logo's dope. Yeah. I use a laser cutter to do that. I use a laser cutter to cut out these patterns too. It's pretty cool. I use lasers for everything. And I just updated the website so it looks pretty cool. So, yeah. Can I see your living room? There's not much there. It's a studio, essentially, but the bedroom's on the other side of that wall. So technically classified as a studio, but it feels like a one bedroom. The logo's dope. Yeah. He's not great. He's got great too. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, Asher. Gray. Yeah. Gray's cool. I'm surprised. I'm surprised people don't really like the red. Red's my favorite. What did you use? React? No, it's just Shopify website. I didn't want to have to build integrations or anything. And there's a pretty cool. Eventually, I think I'm going to have to rebuild the website from scratch. Because eventually I want to have people be able to like submit their own logos or make custom logos for people from SVG repo. And it'd be cool to integrate that. And they do have an API that I could use. I'm just not sure how I would integrate it with Shopify, so I might have to rebuild. So that would be cool. And so then you can have your own branding. Like, let's say, like, here's part of this. The reason why I'm releasing these things is because I have to figure out a way to monetize the podcast, right? And these platforms aren't reliable. Yeah, and I don't care to hawk or sell other people's products that I don't actually use or believe in. But I use this. I made this for myself, and I figured, hey, I can make it for other people too. And then figure out maybe if other people like this too, then they can. This is how I can monetize a podcast. And so, if I can figure out a way to monetize something like this by making a product branded towards the podcast, then maybe I can help other people figure it out too. And so they're not beholden to platforms or advertisers or anything like that. They can literally just even like switch out the logo. So like all these financial podcasts like Coffee Hour or Alex Hormozy or whatever, I don't know. It's just an option, some merch that's actually pretty useful. Which on Amazon, a similar wallet goes for $57 and I sell it for 20. So I think that would be cool. So I got into product design and you're into fashion, bro. So I think it'd be interesting what you could come up with. Oh yeah, true. I do like the red. I just felt that would be too bold for my back pocket. Fair enough. It shouldn't be too hard. Yeah. What's the podcast name and what platform is this? It's on Table Moments Podcast. That's the name of this. That's what this is. This is I use social media to promote and I make content live streaming. But we also release podcast episodes. I just released one a couple days ago. I think it's a really cool one if you're interested in content creation, if you're interested in music, if you're interested in the creation process and some of the things you might have to deal with, just trying to grow an audience. If you're interested in how AI can impact all that, this one's a good episode. It's a good episode. And if you like this type of style of conversation where it's not that structured, where it flows, that's sort of the vibe of Table Moments. It's the Homies podcast is essentially the vibe. And the name where Table Moments comes from is from when I was kids with some friends of mine. We would always just hang out, talk, argue, laugh together, usually at during lunch or dinner and just spend hours just conversing with each other, having a good time. And we called those moments table moments. And so that's where the name came from. And that's essentially the vibe I'm trying to give here. Because it's been 2 hours and 39 minutes and you guys are here. So that's sort of the vibe. You lose track of time and you just have a good time talking about anything and everything. So, what's the podcast? At least you're offering some value. I might have to see what we can do. Yeah, dude, if you come up with any designs, let me know. And so we can start that Yeezy collective you came up with, bro. You should make commercial teaser explanations for each episode as part of your content. Yeah. I have all these shorts put together, but I didn't make them as commercials, but I think that's a good point. Not just on your story, at least if you're interested in pirating the podcast over social media content. Yeah, I ended up cutting up like 25 short clips from the podcast, but I didn't think about turning them into like commercials and teasers. I didn't put any hooks in there, so maybe I should. But yeah, the plan is I'm going to be releasing those 25 videos over the next coming weeks. Might have to see what we can do. Yeah. Are you team Nikki or team Megan? Team neither. I don't like either one of those. Nicki Minaj is, I think, more real than Megan, though. But even then, Runaway Kanye West. Yeah. Wise words. Nice, man. I've been with you since at least 10:05 because my order went in at 10:08. Dang. Yeah. So coming up on, what time zone are you in? Opinion on the NFC championship? No opinions, man. I don't understand the whole NFL stuff. Is that NFL or Eastern? Ooh. Yeah, dude, you've been here like pushing on 2 hours, bro. That's the thing. Like, we can have dope conversation. Here's the thing. I don't like the structure of typical podcasts where it's usually a host who isn't notable or interesting for anything, who brings on someone who is notable or interesting about something, and they just interview them. It's I don't know, man. I feel like to have a well-balanced podcast, the host and the person being interviewed both have to have things to say and let the conversation go where it goes. Like for the interview I did with Isia, he was the rapper on this latest episode 133. And we talked about creating content and growing an audience from my perspective as a content creator and trying to build an audience for a podcast, and from his perspective, music as a rapper, making, which I would say really good music. Check his music out, guys. And so it's like we're actually having dialogue, a conversation that goes back and forth, and we're just riffing off of each other. And it flows well. Here's the thing. When I edit these podcasts, I listen to them multiple times. Usually the first pass is a rough edit. Second pass is closer to a final edit. Then usually I have to edit it again because I have to turn it into shorts. And then I listen again, finally, to the actual audio feed, which it's on any podcasting app. Just search Table Moments podcast. And all those times I enjoy it. So I can't imagine what it would be like for you guys, but who knows? Let me know what you guys think of it. I think it's a pretty good one. And it's the first a podcast we've done ever remotely. So I think this is how I'm going to have to do it. I like the pure audio only stuff because it forces people to speak and describe what they're thinking. Because once you can see each other, people tend to speak in a visual way. But this last episode, we didn't. So maybe there is a way to do video podcasts without losing the essence of the audio stuff. Because as soon as people start talking about, oh yeah, check this out, and then they start showing clips and like, oh, this person, and they start showing graphs and stuff, that kills it for the audio feed. Because like people listening on a podcast feed can't see that stuff, so it ruins it a little bit. But whatever. Now I'm just getting into like, you guys don't care to hear this stuff maybe, but Eastern, NFL. Are you a coach in NBA? I'm not. You look like old coach of Boston. Do I? I'm not. He's a coach in the NHL. Yeah. Hockey's an interesting game, not gonna lie. I when I moved to the East Coast, I used to live in the East Coast, teed up. And I figured, when in Rome, and the East Coast, they have ice rinks everywhere, and hockey's much, much bigger sport. And so I figured, you know what? Let me learn how to play hockey in my early 20s. Yeah. And then you start like learning how to skate. The first thing I did was buy skates. Guys, if you want to learn how to play hockey or whatever, get your own skates. Like the rentals suck. And yeah, just spent like a couple months, 3 months learning how to skate. Just going to public skates every Sunday, and then got good enough that to the point where I felt comfortable signing up for an adult hockey class, and then did that and got all the gear, then started playing, and then I think a few months later, I eventually scored my first goal. Yo, hockey's a fun sport if you have the endurance for it. Oh yeah, and the endurance you have to have. People think soccer players have endurance. Nah, man. Imagine combining the fast-paced intensity and fast twitch muscle movements that you need for our football combined with the endurance that you need for soccer. And now you're like close to what hockey is. It's crazy, and you're just constantly shuffling in and out your shifts that you're doing. It's crazy, guys. And plus the brutality of it, I think appeals to the male spirit a little bit. So it's like it combines all the things. You need the footwork of soccer. You need the endurance of soccer. You need the brutality and toughness of football. You need the hand-eye coordination of like a tennis player, essentially, to do stick handling and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm from Florida. It was in the 80s today. Ain't no hockey going on here. Oh damn. All right, never mind. I mean, upstate East, yeah, northern East Coast. Like, I would say then, you have beautiful bald, mashallah. Unfortunate combo. You rockin' Brody. What do you mean? I don't know what you're asking for though. Over there. Let's see. Can you recommend a bundle set accessible hardware to audio record my family during casual conversations? The less obtrusive, the better. Yeah, if you don't care about video, they have these recorders. Audio recorder. It looks weird. It looks like let me see if I can find it. Yeah, a little expensive, but you can find one of these. I don't know. You just look at it, but just look audio recorder. I think the ones people typically go for are the Zoom ones. Voice recorders, Zoom. They have these like little things that stick out of them. About $100. People seem to enjoy this brand. But depending on how many channels you want to record and whether or not you're going to actually mic them up. If you don't care to mic them up, then it has these like built-in microphones in there. I'll put them in links in the description. Or maybe I can just copy. I wonder if I could just give you the search link and you can just look at these and look at the reviews. Yeah, this will work. Here you go. Wait, let me put this in here. There you go. That should be, you should be able to click that link. Hopefully it turns it into a link or not, but copy and paste that. Yeah, check those out. And then just look at the reviews. And those are usually the kind of things. And then some of these you can actually plug microphones into. So if you ever want to get better audio, you can actually hook up wires to everyone and you just sit around the device and it records it all. I'm working on a site right now, actually running it on a local server. Okay, what does the site do, Kirk? Answer the question, please, for an edit. I don't think you asked a question, bro. You didn't ask a question. Or maybe it got filtered. Also, Linux really is better than Windows 32. Yeah, bro. The world runs on Linux, man. It's crazy because it's like it's free software. Wait, so is it just localhost right now? Are you just local hosting right now, bro? You know what they say, right? There's a saying. It's like, I don't know if I can say it. It starts with the B word. Don't be a local host, B. You know, put your stuff out there, bro. Like, oh, it's still local host. You still local hosted? Come on, you don't really. Those of you who don't know, if you know it, you get it. But Yeah. Oh, okay. You're setting up your own server. I'm cute. What about you? I'm cute enough, I guess. Glad I found your channel tonight. Gotta go to sleep. Can't wait to get my new wallet. Yeah, for sure. And let me know what you think. If there's any improvements, let me know once you receive it. It should get to you in about a week. The cool thing about these wallets is they're thin. So let me see. I could probably see your order if it came through. Should have came through. Yep, I see it here. Yeah, cool. The cool thing about these wallets is they're thin, so I can put them in an envelope and use first class postage, 66 cents, so I can ship it to you without charging you guys shipping. That's what I like about it. So it'll take about a week to arrive. Who wants to play Advanced Warfare with me? I don't know. Close the southern border or no? Yeah, I think it's necessary. I don't know. All these people, I don't know if anyone would advocate for a completely open border, which is kind of essentially what we have right now. And when you understand the human trafficking that comes through it, you realize, oh my God, we're actually facilitating, we're encouraging more of it because we don't have a stronger border. And so it's just like, for the lives at least, we can do that. No, I want it to be like what Naseo was to pirates during the golden age of piracy. Ooh, what are you trying to build, bro? uh, what are you trying to build? What Naseo was to pirates during the golden age of piracy? Oh man, be careful, bro. Well, but I don't know the history of this city. Oh, the Bahamas? Oh, okay. So it's like a haven, essentially. Why can't they come legally? Um, because it's way harder to. People always take the easiest and laziest path, man. I don't know if I would describe walking across the border as lazy, but it's a lot faster than filing some paperwork and waiting nearly a decade to come into the country. So why not take a shortcut? And how are you going to? Like a lot of these countries, like are already corrupt. So do you have the money to grease the palms of people who are going to process your paperwork? I mean, I get it. I get why they do it, but it's still something we can't encourage by keeping it so open, you know? So that's what I would say. And I think anyone on any side of the political aisle could agree with that. It's just, you know, I think for both sides it's become a political issue because it can get voters out to the ballots. Democrats like it because they can always say, "Oh, look, they hate people who don't have means, whatever." But if they were, I don't know, if they were, I don't know. And plus, you realize the incentives behind it because you know how these people are probably going to vote. And so it's just like, oh, so you're actually importing votes, essentially, if you want to like give them citizenship eventually. Which, I mean, yeah. But then the Cubans kind of messed that up a little bit. But then you start realizing, oh, they don't feel that way about Cubans. Oh, you won't let the Cubans come in because they vote Republican. And so it's just like, oh, okay, games. Everyone's just playing games. It's just like, all right, whatever. Because Cubans know what communism and socialism can get you. They get to experience it. So, yeah, I want a haven for the pirates of Web 2. What are they pirating, though? What are they pirating? I like the idea. Well, what are they pirating from Web 2, though? That you're going to be a haven for. If you care to plug it, no pressure, though. I checked out The War Within, and he says some stuff about Catholicism, but I'm not just going to blindly. I think you're going to finish that. Name an NBA player for an edit. Lamar Odom. Is he still a player? Meta World Peace. Meta World Peace. Follow him. I'm going to research more and make up my mind. Truly understand Catholicism and the Bible. Yeah, man. I don't know. Some of the stuff he was talking about, if your family is Catholic, that could be a struggle for you, bro. Just know that going in. But hopefully God can guide you and see if they agree or not. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I had a healthy respect for Catholicism before I started learning more about Christianity, but now I'm just like, even like the idea, like, is does the Pope really represent Jesus on earth? Is that what he's supposed to represent? Because I don't know if I mess with that at all. That's crazy. If that's actually what Catholics believe. Okay, cool. All right, it's not what they believe. He's like God on earth. It's like that's kind of a crazy. You don't think so? Okay. This guy. What about this guy? Yeah. So we'll see. If so, then I want nothing to do with that. Yeah, I'm confused about that. Let me Google this. Is the Pope God on earth? Wow, other people have Googled this too. Is the Pope really the representative of God on earth? So pretty much you'll have Catholics say yes, and the Orthodox say sort of, not really, and Protestants say nope. You don't give much of a prompt here, so it's hard to delve into this more. What's making you doubt it? What makes you think he is? Does this bother you? It does bother me. Protestant response is more yes, along with a lot of other people. You can play around with the discussion. What? The Pope is absolutely God's representative on earth, so are you, for that matter? And so am I. Oh, okay, that's a different description. As a Catholic, my answer is kinda. However, the Bishop of Rome, Pope, has apostolic right. What does that mean? Apostolic. There's a lot of words I end up having to Google now relating to the apostles. Ooh, is he apostle? The bishops are a continuation of the ministry of Christ. So in both churches, Catholic and Orthodox, bishops and popes and patriarchs are the closest things to representative. You may even call it an actual representative on earth. So do worry too much with semantics and continue living in your I don't know. I'm confused. That's all I can say. I'm very confused. Not explicitly pirating things, but building projects that may or may not defy corporate practice. Ooh, that's a good. Here's the thing. I think it's nice that you're putting energy towards that, because I don't think enough people do, because usually the money isn't there until maybe you can scale up. But even then, consider monetization and how you can make that happen. But I like the idea of like, this Web 2.0 stuff, controlling all this information, locking it down, and you can't have access to it. Like even with like these platform stuff, I can't contact you guys directly off of platform. In fact, telling you guys to meet me off of platform is not something that even TikTok DMs won't allow you to do. I'm just like, so the 66,000 people who follow the Table Moments account, there's no way for me to export that and contact you guys directly through email or whatever. Same thing for Instagram, same thing for YouTube. And so it's just like they are the middlemen. They've connected us all, but with a huge caveat that they remain in control. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So this may be my first product, but my last product might be something that challenges all that. And yeah, coming soon maybe. But good for you, bro. Good for you. And then if you ever want to like talk about it, dude, if you want to come on the podcast and talk about it and get some eyeballs towards it, some attention, let me know. This is a platform for you too. Catholics say yes. Heck no, ain't Catholic no more. Yeah, that's a different description. I don't know. I don't know. This was just Reddit though. Oh my God. Did anyone else for Kanye in 2020? I did. I'm confused as well. Demi D Money Jonas, yes. Asher Kanye, he should have won. I don't know if Kanye should have won, but I think it would have been cool if he got enough votes to make a dent, or at least send a message to America that, or both political sides, that the black vote isn't as reliable as they thought it was. But turns out it is. Like what Louis Rossman does for hardware, but more radicalized. Okay, that's fair. Body positivity. Hey, how's it going? Love yourself no matter what. Cool. I'm going to have to research more about Catholicism for sure and make up my mind, yeah. And then feel free to come and share with the class here. It's just apostolic. There's a lot of, yeah. And I think one of the things I really appreciate about the War Within is that he explains all this stuff in new and interesting ways, but then also points out the things that we're surrounded by that we don't even notice, and that it has biblical influences. I'm debating on if I want my identity to be associated with something like that. You can use a code name or something. You can even, it'd be kind of cool if like if we could figure out some sort of AI face or AI voice. And what's your handle? Do you have a handle? I feel like any hacker has to have a handle. Have you guys seen the movie Hackers with Angelina Jolie before she became Lara Croft? Yeah, when did you become Muslim? I was born a Muslim. All right, I'm gonna go. Have a good rest of your night and stream. Yeah, thanks, man. I think I might be ending soon. It just reached 3 hours, so I think I might call it quits too. San Fran or Kansas City? Those are the people playing in the Super Bowl. I'm assuming. I don't watch football, so it's all rigged, guys. Right? It was all decided. It was all. Don't say mashallah, Teddy. I'm not Muslim anymore. I didn't know you're Muslim. I'm not anymore. So, sorry, man. You lost one. You lost a good one. Super Bowl. Let's see. Sunday. When, where, who's playing? I don't think I'm going to watch it. But I always say that. But 49ers rally versus Lions NFC title game to reach Super Bowl. I don't know. Why did you leave Islam? I don't know. I didn't leave it for any particular reason. I just was drawn to Christianity. So that's where I am right now. You think they sacrifice underground the Super Bowl halftime performances? What do you mean they sacrifice underground the Super Bowl halftime performance? I'm not sure what you mean. Could you clarify? Why did you stop being a Muslim? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It wasn't for me. Maybe. Thoughts on Nicki versus Megan? Why do people keep asking that? Is there something going on with Nicki versus Megan? I have no clue. I don't know this stuff. Megan versus Nicki. Nicki Minaj is hella pressed over Megan Thee Stallion's apparent hiss diss. Oh my god, this is so stupid. Why do people care? Minaj accused Megan of being a manipulative liar and laughed at a lyric seemingly referencing the rapper being shot by Tory Lanez in 2020. I don't understand. What's the drama here? So women are clapping back at each other through their songs like rappers used to do, diss tracks. That's a thing. I bet you it's all manufactured, by the way. None of the stuff in Hollywood and media is by accident. LeBron James. I got to get out of here, though. I got class at 8 a.m. Have a good one. You too, bro. You should post a TikTok on why you left the faith. There's no particular reason, though. You need to post a TikTok talking about why you left Islam. I don't know. Why? I don't have a reason. Like, my family's still Muslim, so, and I still have respect for people who practice the religion, faithfully practice it. Obviously, whatever. Okay. I don't know if I have any more for you guys. It's been 3 hours and 3 minutes and 25, 26, 27 seconds. Appreciate everyone who's been on. It's been a cool discussion. Whoever's been watching on Twitch, shout out to you. Whoever's still watching on Twitch. And shout out to all the people here in the TikTok. Really appreciate it. They know Jay, Braca, Lucifer. Oh, come on, man. For Queen Bing, nice to see you here. I know you're more of a listener and you're always appreciated. Siones, Pisty, Notification, Erase Your Social, and Camelina Mata. Am I saying your name right? Camelina Mata? I hope I'm saying it right. But yeah, Lucifer, come on, bro. All this talk we did about like Christianity and religion, and here you are with a username like Lucifer. Of course, the devil's always around us, guys. He's always there. uh, man. Hey, Tara Bell. How's it going? Yeah, just getting off now. Tiara, my bad. I said your name wrong. Man, were you teased a lot as a kid with a name like Tiara? Or is it Tyra? Is it Tyra or Tiara? How do I say your name? Jesus and base. Romans 8:28. Let's look that up, guys. The last Bible verse we're going to look up in this stream. Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. It's okay. Tiara. Oh, okay. And no, I wasn't teased. Oh, okay. Tiara. Yeah. Hey, yeah. I appreciate you. It's like you're always here. You don't say anything, but you're here listening, and so I still appreciate it. So I recognize you. I remember you for Queen being. So yeah, thank you for being here. And everyone, have a blessed week. And I guess I'll see you guys here. I might go on live sometime this week to promote the product that I just launched, these wallets, front pocket wallets. You can find them on the link in the description if you're interested or you know somebody. I was thinking like maybe I should make a video about Valentine's Day because that's coming up and urging women out here to switch it up this year. Like this time you get something for your mans, for the man in your life that you care about. And maybe consider something like this. If you're interested, check out the link. It's a front pocket wallet. I designed it. It's laser cut with fused edges. If you're into it. And for those who get it, get it. For those who don't, it's fine. It's not for you. And that's cool too. But you're still welcome to come have dope conversations with me and everyone else here. Have a good week, everyone. I appreciate everyone here. And bye. Bye. Toodaloo. Let me end here on Twitch and YouTube first. They always get an extra 20 minutes, by the way, the YouTube and Twitch guys. I always put them on first. So check me out on YouTube, Table Moments Podcast. Search the whole, make sure you put the word podcast in there. Otherwise, you're going to get a bunch of WWE wrestling highlights because apparently a Table Moments is when they throw someone on a table. Which I didn't know. And I know we will have been successful with the Table Moments podcast when that shows up first. When you search Table Moments and the podcast shows up first. But all right, bye.